To Laughing at Birds, episode 12, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're probably not even going to keep this going. I don't know what I'm doing right now. The only reason I started this up, Kevin and I have been hanging out for like the past couple hours, and the reason why I started this up is like I sort of had an epiphany of sorts where like I think actually on the previous podcast we talked about, we don't know
what our
format is. Like we don't necessarily know what the hell this is yet, even though we're 11 episodes deep. That might reflect poorly on who we are as people. But
no, I think it tells you exactly who we are as people.
Really?
We just kind of go with it. You know what we are?
Yeah.
We live our lives like drunk people at a club do. Like you see somebody hot, you bring them in the bathroom, you fuck them, regret it for the morning.
It's all, I think it's all impulse. So like we realize that our format is kind of like anecdotal conversation. And it led me to have to look up what anecdotal means because I knew it was the right word for it. I just couldn't remember exactly what it meant.
And it was Coke High podcast.
It's all personal account. Like there's no, I mean, of course, like when we bring facts into it, like we try to be as correct as possible. But like there's no guarantee. I'm not going to pretend there is.
Like just as an example, with the Nestle guy
did I burp? Ring. Was it stinky?
No, I just did.
Oh, you had a stinky burp?
I blew it that way.
Dude, your monster burps are seriously the thing of nightmares. They are really fucking
Stephen King has night sweats about my monster burps.
I would too. Well, I do. I have to live it. He doesn't. He's in Maine somewhere.
The guy that owns Nestle that we said we think wants to own the ring, in podcast number 5 or 9, I don't remember which one it was. Either way,
9.
It was 9. It was 9.
Yeah.
We said, remember, you said actually word for word, you know, there's something that I hear all the time, and one of these days I have to look it up to see if it's true.
Which is horrible, by the way. I'm going to tell you.
And guess what we didn't do?
Yeah, no, never once.
And
I still don't know.
Separately.
My phone's right in front. I
haven't looked.
My phone's right in front of me. I could do it right now. But
you know what that tells me, though, dude?
What?
It's a lot better to put a flashlight under your face at a campfire than it is to actually go and look at the facts, dude.
Well, it's really bad and really hypocritical because, like, one of the big things that I had a problem with a while back on Facebook is, like, people sharing fucking stupid bogus news without looking into the sources and making sure it was factual. So like now I do that, but to my defense, I do that with
different.
Yeah, I do it with harmless shit.
Yeah,
like I'm not doing it with real world altering stuff.
Yeah,
you know. But so it just became this conversation about like, okay, we really like I think our format really is just like old school fucking storytelling of sorts.
I mean, dude, this is a hang. We're the jerk offs in your living room that you invite over and you hang out with once in a while, but we're not the kind of people that you introduce to your mom.
That's kind of what I want it to feel like too. Like I want it to feel like you're hanging with your degenerate friends.
Yeah, because dude, I am the guy that you are embarrassed of.
Absolutely.
100%. I used to have a shirt. I bought it from Hot Topic, one of the only things I ever bought from there, that says, "Caution, hanging around me might damage your reputation."
Oh my God. Do you remember, like...
Keep staring, I might do a trick.
Oh, that was so... I remember when that became, like, the thing. You had a marquee running across your chest that said, "I'm different."
Yeah.
And
Meanwhile... Everybody wears that shirt.
I purposely stayed away from them. I thought they were the stupidest fucking thing. I hated "Can't sleep, clowns will eat me" fucking dumb shirts.
You go fuck yourself.
You're not as dark as you think you are.
No, you're not. Because if shit really hit the fan and you had a manic episode, you'd blow your brains out, you fucking pussy. We live in the fucking smog.
Well, that's what it was. It was like at that point, it was cool to be edgy. Like that's before like people started naming it as like being an edgelord. You know,
you're edgy, but you're at home listening to fucking Moby.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and don't get me wrong, I had a lot of that shit in my life. Like
I'm gonna put on mascara and dark clothes and limp around the hallways.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Literally nobody. And you come to realize that you spent, dude, I invested so much time in daring to be different when I was in high school. And I realize now at 34 years of age, because I watch people interact with one another, nobody gives a shit. it just, they don't care unless you like literally like pull your pants down and shit on the floor. Like nobody's gonna really pay any mind to
But
it.
see, for me, because of my disabilities are on display 24 hours a day.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And I know, get off the fucking cross. You bring it up every fucking episode, bro. We get it. You walk stupid. Can you?
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Instead of a dinner bell, that's what my mom rings.
Got a little siren on her head. Fucking running around the house. He's picking at his ears again. Oh, he's picking at them ears. There's no wax. There hasn't been wax for 3 years. He's still at it. He said his memories itch.
The ones that he can remember.
the gray matter that's most accessible.
Hashtag Gray Lives Matter.
Gray Lives Matter, dude.
That's a dumb hashtag. Anyway, my disabilities have always been on display, so I think whether I wanted to be or not, I've spent the majority of my life trying to fit in until I realized, like my second year in high school, you're different and you're always going to be different. I've had weird people walk up to me and go, bro, you're fucking weird.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, I know it's not like groundbreaking or anything now that it flies out of my dumb face, but you know, when goth people in high school are telling you that you're the weird one, you know, when they're putting on mascara, it looks like they've cried for 5 hours.
All right, leave it be.
Okay.
All right, you know, you're going after me. You're attacking me. I'm trying to have a nice time, and you're attacking me right now.
I like that,
dude. I still have the goth fetish. I really
too.
do. I mean, I can't do anything about it at 34. Like, there's no.
Fuck that.
Hey guys, I'm 34.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
How often am I going to bring it up? Nobody, dude, it's not like I'm 45. Oh my God, when I'm 45, I'm going to hear that and I'm going to be pissed.
Dude, well, you know what? 33 is the new 45. Because if you're not 18 on social media, drinking lean and dyeing your hair rainbow colors.
Yeah. If you're not one of Kevin's lame ass neighbors and saying things are lit.
Oh, right?
Oh, man.
Who the fuck says that? I know one girl that used to say hella, but that's because she lived in Florida.
Well, yeah, you're a
dirtbag by proxy.
There's certain things you're a dirtbag by proxy.
And fuck your Florida meme challenge, bro. I'm not looking up some Florida guy and putting my birthday in there.
Okay.
I know something terrible happened on my birthday. I was fucking born. That's, you know what I mean? I don't need to know what was going on in Florida. You know what I'm saying? There was a fucking...
Something terrible happened on that day. Some fucking window licker spit me out of her puss.
Yeah, really. And birthed another window licker. I can't think of something else besides a window. I should have said rear view liquor.
Well, I don't know.
Because I'm second generation window liquor.
Yeah.
See what I'm going for? That, my friends, is how you bomb.
I'm so sorry. I tried to find laughter in my heart, and
you just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was just like...
You are dead. Not a big surprise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
It's alright.
Yeah, man, like, it just, the whole gist, I mean, we're kind of proving it, too. Like, this is all just based on nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense.
Yeah, but you know what, though, dude? This is who I am and who you are.
Always has been.
As people.
Yep.
We're not going to change because you put a microphone in front of us. If anything, you're just giving us a platform to go find a rooftop and yell as loud as we can.
It's not really yelling with us. It's more like guttural gorilla screeching until somebody just says, "It's gonna shit. It's gonna shit. Back up. It's gonna get under an awning."
Dude, you know, look, some people can go on platforms like YouTube or Facebook and they can create a whole
train platform.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you actually...
I have a bomb in
You do?
planted
Yes, you do.
button.
There we go, yeah.
It didn't even need to be planted. It just went off.
Yeah, that thing. I was busy trying to plant it, and I was so dumb I triggered it by accident. That's what that was. Another really good fucking joke. Nailed it, Doug. And this is my fault. I started the thing up for no good reason. By the way, you need to help me. I need to start policing how much I say fuck.
Oh yeah. I
It's
picked
too
up
much.
on that too.
Fucking
Classic move.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. Sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry.
Fucking sorry.
No, it was platforms. That's what it was. Some people can go on a platform like YouTube or Facebook or whatever the fuck, and they can create a facade. They can pretend to be a completely different person. If you know me or you, we can't. I feel like if we tried to be fake, it would come off horribly transparent.
Like, I know that a lot of the pressure in my head with what we're doing with the podcast is like, okay, how do I make this a digestible thing? Like, I want to make sure that there is at least the facade of a format, but like, not the facade. Is that what I'm looking for? The
Illusion,
the semblance of a format, but like, really, I don't know if it's you can consider it to be a breakdown over time or not. But like, I always end up slipping back into us just chatting about shit, and I feel like that's what we're supposed to do.
Well, do you have recent thoughts?
Yeah, like all the time.
I do too.
That's
so
all
maybe
I have.
That's part of the reason why it's formatted the way that it is.
Yeah.
Because look,
I'm a human squiggly line. I've said that before.
Me
like
too.
I'm just like all over the fucking place.
I'm a
all the time.
broken Etch-a-Sketch.
Yep, same.
It's ridiculous.
Same. Can't erase either. It's the worst.
I just realized nobody probably alive right now knows what the fucking Etch-a-Sketch is.
Listen, if you don't know, I mean, that's what Google's for. I'm not going to sit here and fucking explain to you the wonders of Etch. Dude, how badly, when they first came out, how badly did you want a Light Bright?
Light Bright.
Do you remember Light Brights, dude?
Light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights. Light bright, make a face to glow at night. Smiling friends, shining bright, make a sign to say goodnight.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns. It's easy to make your favorite pictures and characters, or you can always create your own light pictures.
Light bright, turn on the magic of shining lights.
Light Bright from Milton Bradley.
Yo, you talk about moth to a flame. I had ADHD hardcore when I was young. I was like, I could stare at that and not listen to my parents fight anymore.
Definitely.
Fucking beautiful.
No. I didn't have two parents in the house, so.
All right, dude, fucking take my spot. That's fine. That was my sad story time. That was my sad story. That was me planting the fucking seed of make people feel bad for me. You're gonna fucking steal it, dude? Okay, you know what?
Right.
Sorry, you never had a fucking big brother. Okay.
Yeah, I am the big brother.
How shit, you are the big brother.
How sad is that? I am the fucking role model. Me.
That's crazy.
It is crazy,
dude. I'm the big brother.
Yeah.
To my little brother, and he's just wildly better than I am as a person.
Dude, my little brother is wildly better than I am as a person.
Did I say fuck a bunch yet?
I don't think so. I probably have.
I'm really trying not to.
Dude.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You're right. It's all racing thought shit. You're totally fucking right.
Dude, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm telling you.
That's why you'll always hear us talking about, okay, like, we got to get back to that topic at some point because we didn't really finish it.
Hot dogs.
Yep. Ooh, lampshade. Neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's got to be made out of something I like to eat.
Yeah.
Because I just lick furniture. Not windows, though.
Maybe I can stick that material in my shoe and then it'll give me an extra 2 inches.
Give me what I like to call the fuzzies.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dude, this kid holds down 2 jobs, has 2 children.
I didn't know he had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fucking guy.
I can't hold down one fucking job.
And I mean, dude, it's crazy the amount of responsibility that he has and the way that he just goes about it. Like, he's living his fucking life, dude.
Yeah.
Kid,
I know, you told me he goes on like fucking snowboarding trips and shit all the time.
Whatever, man, just goes out and does it. Now, in fairness, the trade-off is that he does live with one of his parents, which gives him the ability to probably go and do those trips. Mm-hmm. But I mean, come on, dude. If you said if my family wasn't as dysfunctional as it is, and I'm not speaking on his side of the family because I don't know those people all that well. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if I had the option, if my mom was not a window licker and I could stay at her house and go do trips and shit like that, I probably would do that and take advantage of it.
Yeah, dude, I think what what happened really, like when it comes to your brother and my brother, is they had something installed in them when they were brought into this world, and it's the ability to not give a shit. Like they have that thing where they can turn off not only at the base level racing thoughts, but also the importance you and I tend to lend to those thoughts.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what makes them able to be okay in like any sort of, and I'm going to call it like a normal job, like you're working construction, customer service, retail, whatever it might be. They're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, it's going to give me money, so that's what I need to go do.
Exactly.
I don't have that. I have like, I need to do what I want to do. I need to love what I'm doing. Yeah. I can't deal with disrespect. I can't deal with any sort of ridicule. Like it's a weak, and I'm not saying that's not a good thing. People out there are going to say that's a great thing. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You know what? You deserve.
It's not great because what it does, it limits you
severely.
Of a fucking bowl of ramen noodles.
Absolutely, it does. Yep. And guess what? You're not buying the ramen.
Yeah, nobody. The best part about that is, dude, nobody sees that. You don't hear about the not success stories.
Yeah, no.
You only hear about the rapper, the artist, you know, the people that actually make it, the singer. Yep. I had nothing. I was eating out of garbage cans and some asshole found me on the side of the road and heard my talent and now I'm a star. You don't hear about the guy that dies in the fucking street because he never caught a fucking break. Because, you know, his family didn't hang out with Quincy Jones or whoever the fuck.
Well, that's largely what it is. It's you know, in the grand scheme of things, you have to have that. We're stuck in that, like, the moment before.
Yeah.
You know, but that's our fault. Like, straight up, we have to fucking accept the fact that you and I were born. Maybe it's not all our fault. We were born with different wiring. Like, we can't help that. That's how we think.
We're both mentally ill.
Fucked.
The question is, are they mentally ill also?
Yes.
And are they?
They're mentally ill in the way that you need to be in this world, though.
Right.
You know, they're able to be a cog in the machine and be okay.
Yeah, see, dude, that kills me, man. Yeah. Just, like, I've worked in retail, I've done the horrible jobs, the terrible shit, and I don't even fit into those places.
No, I never have. I've always been the odd man out, and the thing is, like, I think I've been on an endless jersey.
You're looking
an endless jersey.
You're probably looking at what I'm wearing.
But how does that even fucking like? Then
or you're thinking about where you live and.
No, then my brain's too porous. Like I'm just gonna let shit soak in, and I'm gonna fucking come on, god damn it, fucking. Hey, Doug, you there? Hey, it's an independent, unrelated thought. Can I come in really quick and just fuck with whatever you're saying? Yeah, no, of course. The open door policy. Did you bring a drink? No, that's fine. I bought some. I just need a friend. Fucking so stupid. What did I even say? I need a journey. Endless Jersey. That's the name of the episode officially.
Yep.
Endless
Jersey.
You
meant to say endless journey.
That's what I meant to say.
You just used the wrong word. Yes. Now you're being hard on yourself.
I hate myself right now. Oh my god, that made me so fucking mad. You can't even call that like a clever Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. All right. I'm gonna bitch. James Hetfield. Yeah. That was shit. I don't know what that was. Yeah, like an endless journey to fit in. That's what it's been for me for a really fucking long time, and it never has happened. Eventually, the facade will drop, and people will be like, okay, no, you're grade A weird. Yeah. Like, you're a weird person.
Yeah.
And, don't get me wrong, I've made a lot of friends over the years. I've been told,
Have you, though?
Charismatic. Yeah, I have.
Like, if you really sat and thought, so...
Well, I fucked it up.
No. To you, what constitutes as a friend?
Somebody that you can talk to, basically, about anything.
Does it matter how deep?
Yes. I mean, for me, to take you from friend to close friend, yeah. Like... Close friends, I need to be able to have like deeply philosophical sort of discussions with you. A friend, though, like it could just be I enjoy spending time in your company.
Okay, because I think maybe I have a problem. Like I don't really consider us close, or even friends. If I can't be myself around you, like if I know I'm gonna say shit that's gonna make you uncomfortable, just go.
Yeah.
Go find somebody else to play with because my toys are broken.
Well,
and I
no,
don't care.
but the people that do end up becoming my friends or close friends,
Yeah.
all the normal people that come down the line,
Yeah.
I weed them out just by being who I am.
Right.
So the stragglers essentially are the ones that become my friends or close friends. Like if they can put up with how fucking obnoxious and weird I am,
Yeah.
then those are the people I think they deserve to be around because they understand my sense of humor and my weird ass behavior.
Well, dude, now that I sit and think about it, I don't know if I've just become completely antisocial or if it's just that I don't actively go out and look for people to make friends with.
Not me anymore. I mean, I get into some good discussions with some randos once in a while. Like that's
my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Is to get into, and it's got to be proper. If we can, let's derail for a second.
Okay.
We were at my doctor's office the other day, and the smell of Charlie was in the fucking air, dude.
There's a fragrance that's here today, and they call it Charlie. A different fragrance that thinks your way, yeah, they call it Charlie. Kinda young, kinda now, Charlie. Kinda free, kinda wild, Charlie. Kinda fragrance that's gonna stay, and it's here now, Charlie.
Charlie by Revlon. A most original fragrance.
And for those of you that don't know what that is, if you don't feel like Googling,
Kevin's not a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, no, it's a perfume that is very popular with the older woman demographic.
Yeah.
Is
it? I never heard of that.
My grandmother sprayed that shit
Oh,
on.
I made the reference the other day. I said Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds.
Yep.
Fucking oh my god, that smell haunts me,
dude.
It's the fucking worst smell.
So we're sitting in the doctor's office. Lady walks in, sits down, looks over at Doug. For some reason, a wheel turned in her mind where she thought I could talk to him.
Oh, you can tell I'm not the first. You know for a fact I wasn't the first for her. I guarantee she's somebody that finds a captive audience as often as she possibly fucking can.
But what is it to her that made her look at you and go, oh, he wants to know what I have to say?
Proximity. That's all it takes for people like that. As long as you're close to them, they're like, you're within like an intimate conversation distance.
That's crazy.
So then she launches into this whole goddamn thing about, the spring is coming, and of course that's how any of these people that hold you conversationally hostage, they start with something that is immediately agreeable to anybody. So she starts with, oh yeah, spring is coming, I can't wait, and me being the fucking nice guy mixed with like ADD person mixed with bipolar, anything can set me off on a manic sort of tirade. I'm like, yeah, spring is gonna be great, like, and that's all she needed. She was like, I'm in. And then I had to sit there.
God.
No, you see me start squirming. I mean, it was like immediately within the first 30 seconds, I was just like, she's not shutting up. She's not letting me get out of this conversation. I tried all of the classic moves to try to non-verbally tell her I wasn't into continuing to do this. Looking away, looking down at my phone, yeah, just honestly looking in the air and hoping to God a boulder drops on her face. Like I did everything I possibly could to signify I was done with the conversation, and it was not ending.
Well, see, the thing I was gonna say was, when she goes to strike up the conversation, it kind of feels like it's socially frowned upon for you to just go. If she goes, hey, spring is coming, you just go, yep.
Yeah.
And then just turn
No,
away.
it is. Yeah, no, that's some on the spectrum shit. Like you can't just be fucking sitting there and just go, right in somebody's face and then fucking I can't do that. That's too weird for me. So of course I have to acknowledge, listen to what's being said, not just hear and respond accordingly.
Right.
But that's where it ends with normal people. They'll just be like, okay, I had that nice little aside with this person. Nope. She starts going into her goddamn grandkids, her son, who she doesn't want to move down to Florida, even though he wants to move to Florida because she wants him nearby because she moved from Philly after she retired, and she wants her kids to be around her, even though she made an independent decision for herself.
It's a damn good thing he doesn't know how much I hate his guts.
To move away from Philadelphia because she wasn't happy. She doesn't want her kid to do the same goddamn thing for himself. And then she's like, oh, I need him to make me grandbabies and shit. She has, by the way, 7 grandkids, 4 great grandkids. How many more fucking... What are you trying to do? Build a labor force?
Seriously.
Like, stop already. You can't unionize your fucking grandchildren.
There's enough iPhones. I think we can all relax.
Wrong country.
Still.
Yeah, still. Absolutely.
Maybe she's trying to start an independent
yeah,
operation.
you know, yeah, like, she's like, we must take over Huawei.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy because, dude.
And by the way, joke's on me. Obviously, I retained everything she fucking said.
But how do you not? It's because it was so outrageous, I feel like.
Yes, it was.
And also, like, dude, maybe at that level, at that base level, somebody should tell you, maybe you should go to a therapist because clearly you need to talk to somebody.
By the way, I actually know, I don't know the actual term for it, but there's a depression that's associated with doing exactly what she was doing.
Because she was essentially telling you shit that she couldn't bring herself to tell her close family.
So, like, but, okay, I don't know how fucking, I mean, it's going to sound horrible no matter how I say it. So, like, I'm not going to be the one responsible for taking on that burden for you at that moment. Exactly. I have my own shit.
Yeah.
I'm an anxious dude. I like, she doesn't know any of this, and you know why she doesn't know it? Because I didn't fucking share my life story with her.
Yeah, you didn't turn around and go, hey, listen, my head is a mess right now. You have no idea what is going on.
It wasn't a mess at the time. It was just, I was being a private person at that time.
In general, though. But then again, I can't see you coming to a complete stranger, sitting down next to them and going, you know, my mental illness has been a real issue lately.
Oh my God. I would want, if I ever just did that to a stranger, I'd want them to get up wherever they're sitting, find something loose nearby that they can grab and throw it in my eyes and run. I would deserve it. I would deserve it.
The only thing I could think about doing that would just to be something completely off color. Like, you know, I got up this morning and I realized that my balls are an inch lower than they were yesterday. Can you believe that?
Last night I woke up at around 3:30 a.m. and I scratched my asshole directly. I didn't like try to rub it through the pants. I literally like fucking middle finger nail to rim.
And then
I smelled it a little bit.
Turned around and went right back to bed.
Smelled it a little bit, got grossed out, and then proceeded to grab my pillow and fluff it up with the same hand.
Yep.
Yeah. And just maybe that's what I got to do from now on.
I would
just say something world-endingly fucking sinister and gross,
or something polite that gets the point across that I don't want to have this conversation.
Your mouth looks wet.
Yeah. That's a bad one.
And then just start like playing with my inner thigh.
That would get you a sexual harassment suit, probably.
Fine. Do I get to stop talking to them?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Hopefully we get a restraining order in that process.
Really. Like, dude, you should feel. You just lean over to them real close to be like,
yeah.
You should feel my bulge right now.
Yeah.
It's fucking. So I got a rager.
If you smelled her seat like I did, you'd get why I said it. You know, like, and they'd be like, okay, we're gonna move forward with the restraining order for sure.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I can't.
So you ever hot dog?
What, you ever hot dog? How sweaty is your ass crack right now?
Dude, speaking of hot dogging,
yeah.
I was sitting in here the other day and I was recording videos and I thought to myself, I wonder who invented lube and why did they invent it?
I don't know.
Right? Nobody asked these burning questions that I have in my head. Was it a guy that was sitting...
Go ahead.
Was it a guy that was sitting in his house or, you know, like just daydreaming and being like, what can I do to make my whack-off experience better? Or was it some guy that was trying to nail his wife and when he was trying to stick it in, it was like a pool noodle on sand.
Oh my God.
I couldn't think of anything better.
I don't know. I wanted that to be...
Better? I know, me too.
No, I wasn't going to say that. Like, I was trying a way to add to that and I can't. And I was looking for like a disappearing sound of sorts, but I couldn't find one.
I mean, dude. That's the kind of shit that I wonder about.
That's the shit that plagues me at night.
It is. It seriously is. That's the kind of shit when you see those memes all over the social media.
Just, like, it makes you, okay, I'll put it, okay. When did we stop spitting on people and decide to make a liquid that did that for us?
Perfect.
Beautiful, dude. You know what? This has been a fucking presentation from Laughing at Birds. We appreciate you for tuning in. As always, everything we present to you is bullshit. It's utter bullshit. This sound effect makes no sense right now.
No.
Okay.
It's like the Toy Story 3 movie. It starts out cute, and by the end, you feel sad and lonely.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
But
that's not a great promo for us.
No, not at all. Well, you know what? That's not true. We make you laugh, or we make you severely angry.
Yeah.
Do you have a rager right now?
Yeah.
Is your rager? Oh fuck! Wow.
3, 2. Oh dear.
That was a great attempt. I feel bad.
An
for
attempt
him.
has been made.
Yeah, really. Because you see that button right there, the yellow one?
Yes.
That one right there.
An enemy has been slain.
An attempt has been made.
An attempt has been made.
It was rough, dude.
But yeah, that's okay. Again, this is the racing thought factor. Like, you don't...
Well, dude, that's what I'm saying. Where did this fucking guy come up with the idea of
Oh, you're still on it.
And what was it that made me
Kevin, I can't save you from this.
What was it that... Dude, the only reason why I brought it back up was to just simply saying, when I had that thought, there was nothing sexual going on in my mind. There was no reason for that thought to, and it just popped into my head. And now I have the Where's My Mind piano riff going on in my brain. I've never listened to that song.
Where's my... That's a great song, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song. Are you... Wait, you said the piano... Because I don't know...
think it's a piano.
It's
It
not...
might not be.
In the original, it's not piano, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking at the Max and Sorin version of...
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you ever watch... Here it comes again. Fucking topic switch. Here we go. By the way, Future Kev, throw a little snippet of that version of Where's My Mind, and it's beautiful. We're keeping that in. We're keeping that in. I was doing a countdown, and he just barfed in his own mouth. Did you ever see Mr. Robot? Which is, I think that's why they recorded that version.
I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I just...
Fantastic show.
I keep hearing that.
Dude, I am telling you right now.
What is it? Why do I want to watch it?
So I think because what we were just talking about being sort of like outcasts.
Yeah.
That's extremely...
Oh, you mean the real handsome guy that fucks a whole lot of women?
See, I don't think he's that handsome.
I mean,
what's his name?
Compared to me?
His last name is Malik. I can't remember. Let me.
Compared to me, the
Kevin,
guy...
you're a pretty boy. Don't even sit here and bullshit right now.
I mean, all right.
You're
gonna compliment me. I'm not gonna stop.
You're a gorgeous gentleman. Hold on a second. Let me see. It's not weird. Rami. Rami Malek. That's the dude. He plays the lead character. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is horrible because I think I watched season 1 twice. But amazing show. He's a total outcast. He actually kind of seems like he's either on the spectrum or he has a harmless version of like antisocial personality disorder. And he's a hacker. Like he's a brilliant coder,
so he's
programmer.
A hero in the show, yeah?
He's an anti-hero. I think yes, he does some
Punisher anti-hero?
Yeah, he does some straight up benevolent stuff, like good stuff, but he has a problem with heroin. He he does some black hat hacking, which is Black Hat is like nefarious, like really illegal hacking, along with white hats and stuff. Though, so like he's
what is it, when you say he's doing that hacking? Was he going into pedophile rings and having these people killed?
That's actually fucking weird. You just said that. The very first scene of the show, he walks into I think it's a cafe or it's like a chain like Starbucks.
Yeah.
And he walks and he sits down at this table with this random Indian dude, and he just strikes up a conversation with him, and it's the owner of this chain. He's in one of his own stores, and he's just sitting enjoying a coffee, and he starts chatting him up, and he's like, "I know about your habits. I know those photos that you have on your computer and stuff, and I know that you're selling them and distributing them online." Shit. And the dude's like, "Who are you? I'll call the police. Like, you don't know me." And he's just like, "I already called the police." He's like, so the guy's like, "Do you want money?" And he's like, "No, I'm not here for money." He said, like, I'm here to, he didn't say it like this, but he said essentially, I'm here to take pricks like you down. But his monologue is his dialogue is way more brilliant than I'm making it out to be.
Yeah.
And then the cops show up. Like, it is one of the most beautiful fucking openers to a show. And cinematically, the cinematography in the show is fucking second to none.
Really?
Brilliant. Dude, I'm telling you, you need to watch it.
And this is on Netflix?
No, it's on... Do you have Amazon Prime?
No.
Fuck. You should get Amazon Prime. It's $12 a month. But it's on Amazon Prime. I think that's the only place it is. You don't have cable, right?
Nope.
Yeah, because it's on...
I have a Roku that I can get free channels on.
Maybe you can find it on there. I'm not sure.
I doubt it, because I see...
Do you get USA on Roku?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I'll check and see. But if it's on Amazon, chances are a little Amazon icon will pop up and they'll try to have me pay for it.
Yeah. But if you have Prime, then you have access to Prime Video and it's free on there.
Yeah.
But it's honest to God, it's a wonderful, wonderful show. And Rami Malek is like this crazy... He seems like the kind of actor, I'd put him in league with like the Christopher Walkens of the world and even like the Michael Cera's of the world, where they don't really change no matter what role they're in. Like they always have sort of the same sort of basis to their acting.
Yeah.
But that just happens to be a really good basis for him. Like he's insanely good. But anyway, what the hell was the point of me telling you about Mr. Robot? Oh, Max and Serin, you were talking about the Where's My Mind theme. And that was off of something else entirely that I don't remember anymore. Racing Thoughts! Fucking it, we gotta get some race car sound effects in here somewhere.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, yeah, like, this was not planned at all, this particular version of the podcast. I just felt like I needed to say some shit.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, it works.
If you can...
Rate it!
Please rate it on Apple iTunes. Like, we need the exposure, guys. We need you guys enjoying this podcast to talk about it, to comment on it. It raises our ranking on Apple. We want to grow this audience, and we want to make this like a full thing where we're actually answering questions before the show comes on, and like we can
and bringing the questions into the show.
That's what I mean. Like actually being able to answer them on the air and things. So like, please rate us so that we can grow. We want to grow.
And if you're hating this, please go to Yelp. Write a terrible review. That'll get us eyeballs too. We're equal opportunity, man.
We'll take fame or infamy. We don't care which one.
Fuck yeah.
But that's all I gotta add, really. That's all right.
Sounds good.
Love you. See you in part 2, maybe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll return after these messages.
All right, listen. You're down in the basement. That's fucking stupid, okay? That's literally giving you absolutely no exit. You need to get your ass upstairs. I don't even know what came over you to go down there in the first place. Why would you choose the basement? Who honestly does that? You're like my grandmother, senile, but you're only 42. What the fuck?
And now, back to the biscuits.
That's what I was going to do. I actually was going to say, well, I was waiting for you to come here before. I decided to throw it in the Google search and figure the fuck out where the hell did KY, like the idea of it come from? When was it invented?
You're an amazing man.
I looked up lubrication in general, and it was in the 1800s, and it was actually invented as an aid for surgeries.
Really?
That's why they made it. And then KY jelly was actually made in, well, no, that's what KY is, I'm sorry.
Okay.
In 1904. It was made for an assistance in surgeries.
Holy shit, that's
what
pretty
KY
neat.
was for.
Now it's used to grease up butts.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Sweet.
And then I looked up, Nestle guy wants to own water.
Thank you.
And see what the fuck that was all about.
Is it legit?
His actual quote was saying that people having human rights for water is extreme.
Yeah.
But he never said that he wanted to own it.
Oh my god.
So people took what he said and...
Yeah, but that's still a fucking ridiculous thing
to say.
to
say that having a right to water is
that's
extreme.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking crazy.
That's something that somebody's rich would say.
Yeah.
You would never say that if you were... Well, I don't know. I think there are some poor people out there that don't know what the fuck is good for them, and they side with rich people.
Oh, there are plenty of fucking drooling kooks out there that'll be like, The government's watching me exclusively, and President Obama was a Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragon.
That's what you'd have to be. My point is, you'd have to be insane to think that. That's, of course, water and air. Like, those are two inalienable, I would say, human rights. You know what I mean?
Earth. Captain Planet. I don't know how that goes. I don't remember.
The power is yours. Wait, is that it?
Yeah.
The power is yours.
I know it
Earth,
goes
fire, wind, water,
It is fire.
heart.
Okay, I was going to say fire, but I thought that was wrong for some reason.
Earth, fire, wind, water, heart. Go
Planet.
Fucking A, man. He's going to take pollution down to 0.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but then Trump came through and was like, fuck the Paris Accord.
You said you don't want to get political.
Oh, God, what? A fucking 5-word sentence?
Well, you know, you just triggered somebody, dude.
That's fine. Here's more. Fuck Trump. There we go.
Perfect. I mean, it works for me. I don't give a shit. Doesn't bother me at all. I don't like any of them. I think they're all bullshitters. Every last fucking one of them.
Hey, Kevin. You're getting a little political right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm breaking cycles here, man. I don't like the the falsehood of political agendas in general.
Yeah, they're all kind of bullshit. I mean, the politicians are sort of bullshitty no matter what side they're on, but there are some that are better than others until they're not. Like, that's kind of how it goes. Like, pretty
much.
They go probably a decent amount of time not sucking, and then once they get to a high enough position, people are like,
it's over.
Here's hundreds of thousands of dollars to say one thing for me. And then they're like, you know what, that's actually a pretty good deal.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and critique it as somebody that's not getting paid, but I have to imagine... I mean, I don't know, though, because you can make the same argument.
If somebody
for
offered
YouTube.
me $100,000 right now to say Trump is the best president we've ever had, I would sing it.
I would sing it.
I would sing it and twirl a fucking baton right now.
Yeah, but then do you feel guilty later on, or it doesn't matter because you've been paid?
Yeah, no.
You don't feel like you have.
I'll cry a little bit in my brand new sports car.
Yeah.
Like it'll hit me once I'm at my villa.
So what do you want to buy? What is your sports car? Or did you just use that as an example?
I just use it as an example. I don't really.
What would you want?
You want to do cars?
Yeah.
Tesla. I would do
Tesla,
Tesla.
yeah.
Or the next best thing, because I'm sure the problem with Tesla, I think right now, is that they're just still too high priced for normal consumer grade. But I guess if I didn't have to worry about money, I'd still want the next best thing. I love Elon Musk. I don't love him. I like Elon Musk, but I don't know how much I like supporting somebody that kind of makes his workers do crazy amounts of fucking overtime and not get compensated fairly for it. But I've also only heard that report a couple times. I don't know how true that is.
He's an odd fucking guy.
I like him. I think he's a human quirk. Like, I mean, there's just nothing. He's very, very strange. But I feel like the best sort of
people usually are.
Yeah, the innovators.
Especially with business.
Yeah, like the best innovators in business usually are.
The motherfucker went into Joe Rogan's podcast with a goddamn flamethrower.
I know.
With a fucking flamethrower.
The Boring Company. That's his other thing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's great.
So, like, dude, I don't know, man. If I could have any car that... I could afford any car that I wanted, what the fuck would I want? Because I'm really... It needs to be small... Because I don't feel comfortable driving big cars. I'm not a truck guy because I can't. I used to work in a car wash. I know, everybody's surprised. There were people that came in with Escalades and shit.
Yeah.
So having to even just drive them a couple of feet made me nervous because I wasn't big enough to see over the wheel. You know, I felt like a child in those vehicles.
I'm not gonna lie, I like vehicles that are high off the road, like Escalades and SUVs and trucks in general, but like, I also don't like the idea of kicking the shit out of the ozone if I don't have to.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I honestly might go with a fucking, like, something small like a Kia.
Well, see, this is why I picked... I'm looking at the amount of money I have versus what I think is actually the best for the environment that I'm in.
Yeah.
So I say Tesla because there's literally no carbon footprint for a Tesla. Like, you're not harming anything with a car like that.
So now, wait a minute, because I've seen... On my trip to Florida, I saw charging stations for a Tesla, but I only saw one.
No, you gotta. They're starting to show up a little bit more, but they're in more populated areas. Like, you're not
like New York City.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yes. Yep.
So now, how does that work? Do you have to you charge it at home like a cell phone battery?
You can I'm pretty sure you can plug them directly into a wall, just like an extension cord, and then you run the other side of the cord out to your car. I might be wrong about that. I don't know if it needs like a 220 volt or something like a washer dryer or something, but I'm relatively certain you can use a regular plug on a wall, and then it's got a special, obviously, like...
Your electric bill must be disgusting if you're charging your car.
I don't know, man. I don't know how... I don't think I'm ever going to know how it works.
Yeah, me neither. I know I definitely won't.
But, yeah, I think I would do that just because it has little to no impact on the environment, and they're sweet fucking cars. They're, like, super cool.
Now, are you a big... proponent... I did it. Of
Future Kevin, applause sound effect.
Yeah. Of fucking...
Alright, everybody calm down. We're still talking.
Yeah.
Alright, sir in the back.
Do you mind?
Thank you.
I'm trying to put a thought together. It's difficult.
I got you, Kev.
Self-driving. Would you get a car that drove itself?
Yes. Hell yes. Dude, I look forward to a future where nobody's driving cars anymore.
Really?
Yes, because, dude, you put that... It's like putting shit on a track, right? Like on a train track. Mm-hmm. You're never going to have collisions. Collisions will stop existing the moment roadways along with cars are created to work with one another as opposed to one just going over the other, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that the roads and the cars communicate with one another.
Oh, shit. So it'll be like how if you go to certain places, like the way they have the go-karts, how they're connected into the ground, but you can move everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not going to be, they're not going to be on tracks. It's going to be all, I would imagine some sort of like GPS sort of fucking thing that they're all programmed with, you know?
So what about computer viruses? If everything...
Oh, yeah, no, I think there's already been a case of a smart car getting hacked.
I saw there's a YouTube video floating around somewhere where these guys hacked a car that they're driving in, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a real danger, of course I'm not getting in a fucking self-driving car, but like...
I would imagine, you would always have that danger, because look, I would imagine not a lot of people think about this, but there's always a chance when you get in your car and you're driving to wherever it is that you're going, your engine could explode.
See, this is why I think maybe my fix would be a physical only manual override. Like, it's not like you don't press a button and it goes to manual, because that's electrical. That could be hacked too.
Yep.
Something that you literally have to fucking press or pull to go over to manual.
Yeah, especially because if it's an electric button that you press it, what if it shorts out?
Yes.
Then what do you do? And you're in the middle of a fucking... It's not like a flat tire where you can throw the car into neutral and then just coast off to the side of the road. It's a lot more dangerous.
So instead of like having to adjust your mirrors and shit, like, you know how that's common practice when you go to school for driving, it's like adjust your mirrors, look both ways. The new thing becomes make sure your manual override switch works before you like let your car go off.
That'd be so crazy.
That's fucking it. I would do something like that. But yeah, man, like theoretically, it allows you to travel at ridiculous speeds. Like whatever land speed you can get a car up to, you could get thousands, tens of thousands on the road, tens of thousands of cars on the road at the same time.
Yeah.
None of them ever being in danger of hitting one another because these things are programmed properly.
So now, do you think that increases the speed limit?
Yeah, of course, because there's no danger that somebody's gonna fuck it up.
And what do you think they would put it to? Because like if you go on 95, it ranges anywhere from 50 to 77 is the average. But if everybody is in a car that drives itself, do you move into the hundreds?
I'm sure it would be incremental. Like I'm sure it would be like, okay, since this is still relatively new, let's put a top speed of 100, and then like. They'd be like, okay, we can build all the self-driving cars to go 150 now. And then it'd be like, okay, you can upgrade it to 200 now and stuff like this. Like, I'm sure it would be incremental.
I mean, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring something up about, oh yeah, do the cars regulate their own speed, or are you increasing it?
No, you're not doing anything.
You're not, so you're just literally,
you're sitting
all
there.
You're doing is you are a passenger in the seat, and you're only there to keep eyes in case you need to pull that switch.
I can't remember which brand it was. I can't remember if it was Mercedes or BMW, but they built a concept like totally autonomous, not needed to be touched by human hands at all, self-driving car. Damn. And the inside, rather than looking like a normal car, the seats just swivel and you can fucking sit there and like sit around like a tiny table.
That's crazy.
And fuck with like the windows and stuff. Like there's no, like you can do a panorama with your seat now because obviously you're not driving. So you can, they'll have cars with like just a bed in it and stuff where you can just lay down on your way to work and stuff.
Yeah, people are going to be sleeping. Other people are going to be having sex while the car is going.
Suddenly people are going to want like long commutes to work because they're going to be able to get some extra sleep in and shit.
They're going to be watching a fucking movie on their, the projector is on the windshield.
Like like an augmented reality projector or something. Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is a very transhumanist conversation, by the way. I'm enjoying this. Like it's all about the future. But yeah, man, shit's gonna get weird if we ever get there, you know? Like I'm looking forward to, I'm really hoping I'm part of that future.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how early something like that would happen. And I think the biggest issue is how expensive it's going to be, because by the time it gets knocked down to where the average person can afford it, well, the amount of technology is going to be crazy.
They're going to want to get it down to consumer grade costs and stuff as fast as possible, because if we're talking about completely getting fossil fuel run manual cars off the road, like that's going to... It's going to happen incrementally at first, but there's going to come a time where if it just proves to be more cost effective and better for the economy and everything to do that, they're going to want to make it so that it happens quick. And I imagine it would happen probably this is so stupid. Oh my God, I'm about to sound so dumb. But if you remember, like, the transition between the VHS and the DVD, how that seemed to sort of happen overnight, like all of a sudden you couldn't find VCRs or anything anywhere. I feel like that's probably what would happen. Like, it would just be like, not only would you watch dealerships either switch over to self-driving or completely disappear, you would also, the two-prong approach would be like, they'd be saying, okay, like, we're gonna say this highway now is no longer manual drive. You have to be on self-driving cars, and they'll slowly start converting roads over to self-driving.
Or
they'll add new roads, like bridges or something, for self-driving.
I was just gonna bring that back to, so you said that you think there'll be a time where manual cars will be banned completely. That right? That's
maybe banned. I don't know about banned, but I feel like obsolete will happen at some point.
Or do you think you have to bring it to a certain place, like a race car track, and you can only drive your manual car there?
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be motorheads that don't want to give up their manual cars for sure.
Definitely.
But I don't know where they're going to end up. I can't pretend to. But yeah, I would say, like, if you're an enthusiast or if you have like a very specific kind of license, like. That'll become a specialized license down the line, as driving a manual car, for instance, something like that.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, it's obviously all of this is speculation, so we're not trying to pretend that we're smarter than we actually are. But the idea that you can sit here in 2019 and have this conversation when 20 years ago, we were all like, oh, I wonder how long it's going to be till we have cars that fly.
Well, actually, that's the funny thing, man. If you can go back to magazines and shit from like the 50s and 60s, especially, like, I think Popular Science ran a lot of like speculative science fiction stuff where it was like, you know, self-driving cars by 1983 and things like this. And
they had in the mid 80s, they actually had hybrids. They had hybrids out in the 80s, dude.
Really?
There was only a handful of them, but they were made.
I didn't know that.
They were fucking made. I saw a flyer for one during Hurricane Irene.
That's so cool. Is this yours or mine? I didn't know that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it either. I think it was Ford had one, and then I think it may have been Ferrari, somebody like that. A very expensive car brand had.
What was it a hybrid of? Electric and gas, or?
I'm not sure. I don't know. If I was more of a car guy, I would have put that in. But I just remember seeing that they said it was the fact that there was even the word hybrid being used in the mid 80s was kind of like, whoa.
Dude, there's been speculative futurism for a very long time, and like that's not going to change anytime soon. But the thing is, I think the things that we're talking about, like self-driving cars versus flying cars, for instance, that's way more practical. And honestly, it's already being worked on. Like like I said, there are already brands working on concept cars for these things. So like to me, it's only 20 to 30 years down the line. Like I really don't feel like it's going to take much longer. And then probably like 50 or 60 for manual cars to sort of hit obsolescence.
And I like how we completely went past.
This is from Lube. I want you to remember that.
Yeah.
This is off of Lube.
This is how it happens.
This
and
is
look,
off of butt grease.
You can make a slight dot connection between lube and oil.
Oh shit.
Slight connection.
Yeah, Quickie Lube.
Yeah.
How you like that?
Exactly.
Jiffy Lube, whatever the fuck.
But I like how everybody went completely past self-driving cars and they just went, oh, it'll be cool when they fly. They skipped everything in between.
Well, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I want to say that makes sense for the time because I feel like that's when like commercial flights had been happening for a while probably at that point. But like you're seeing flight as the big futuristic thing that's happening in your era. Like back in the 50s and 60s, it wasn't computers. Computers were already being made. ENIAC was already a thing, but like the normal person would know about like flight and things like this. So they're probably like, imagine having a flying car someday. Meanwhile, we're all in the technological era of computers and machine learning and like AI and things like this. So it would make sense for us to think, okay, a car is going to one day just know how to drive itself.
Yeah, like dude, I just was sitting here thinking back to our conversation from episode 11 where we were talking about music and shit. That there was in my lifetime, I remember having to put a cassette or a CD in a Walkman or a Discman and having to try to shove it in my pocket in such a way so that it wouldn't skip.
Yep.
They used to have that, I don't remember what they called it.
The shock.
Shock, anti-shock.
Anti-shock.
Now, I walk around and at the press of a button.
Yeah, I could throw my phone at my girlfriend's head and it won't skip a song.
It's crazy.
Which I do all the time.
It's crazy. Yeah, fuck her.
Fuck that bitch. Yeah, man. No, it's super cool. But like, I also like I am one of those people. I was just talking about how there's going to be people that don't want to get rid of their manual cars. I'm the kind of guy. I'll go back and I'll buy a vinyl player and I'll buy records and shit so I can hear what the song sounded like on their old mediums, Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. I mean,
shit, dude.
It is pretty interesting to go back and play a vinyl record or hear a tape, a cassette.
There's nothing like it, really. That when you listen to something on record, it's like going back to the 70s and 80s and like listening to it the exact same way other people heard it back then. Like that, it's time travel in its own way.
Now, what is it? I don't know. So I'm asking you, but I mean, I can always Google it. What is it that makes it? Is it just the fact that it gets put onto a literal record that makes it sound different, or is that a computer effect that they do now to bring it back to have the effect of it sounds like it did when vinyls were popular?
Well, I think that I don't know that they'll ever make it like absolutely pitch perfect to what it sounded like on vinyl, but I know they've gotten very close. Like that fuzziness, or like there's sometimes
that's what I mean. Yeah,
a guitarist will use what's known as a tube amp to get like an old electric guitar sound and stuff. Yeah, like there's stuff that makes it sound like that, but I don't think anything actually fully sounds the way that the actual technology sounded. So like I know for me, like I used to have a big record collection of industrial records. Like I had like Front 242, Frontline Assembly, Kraftwerk, like all these bands that I used to listen to when I first started coming up into industrial. And then I was like, one day I got a hair up my ass about, well, I want to get the actual records and I want to see what it sounded like to people when they were listening to it in the 80s at their house. And you listen to it and you're like, wow, this is like vastly different. Like I think there's a little bit more depth. There's some fudge to music that was on vinyl. Like it was a little bit more bassy and a little bit more sort of sludgy. And I don't think I've ever heard it properly repeated, like on, let's say somebody does a computer program and they say, okay, I want a vinyl sound effect on this. I don't think it's ever been a perfect recreation.
You know, and just thinking how it's funny. We always have this want to go back into the past and revisit shit the way that it is, but at the same time, we're also pulling ourselves more towards the future because we want to see. But I don't really think. I mean, there's categories like music and movies you could do shit like that with, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see how we want to go backwards and forwards at the same time.
That's humanity, right? Like nobody is, I don't think anybody that's being honest with themselves can ever say they're truly happy in the present. Like, and that's because humans are sort of built to either constantly be anticipating or constantly learning. Yeah. And if you're learning, you're looking toward the past and you're taking lessons from that. If you're anticipating, you're looking toward the future and you're waiting for that. So like we're not very good as a species at just existing in this time and place. We're always sort of I'll call it like multi-dimensional thinking. Like we have to sort of analyze and speculate. Like that's our role, right? Like that's what kind of makes us philosophical and self-aware and sentient beings, is that we have that compulsion to do that stuff. But I mean, it can be said that like maybe if we lived in the current a little bit more, we could all like sort of learn to be a little bit happier, because we're not always waiting for something or wishing for something.
Yeah, but is it possible to... I mean, I guess it would depend on what your quality of life is like to determine whether or not you can ever really be happy in the current.
Well, that's what happiness is, right? Like, happiness to me is when you sort of come online in the current. Like, that's when happiness is created. There's something so pleasing to you happening at that current point in time that it causes you to live through that point in time fully. That's what creates happy memories.
Do you feel like there's a memory? If I ask you right now, take a memory, any point in your life, one that at the immediate thought of it makes you extremely happy.
Oh God! I mean, I did. You didn't even have to finish that. I had one. Yeah.
Okay, so now what is it?
It was the time, probably, I want to say it was like 7-8 years ago, when I went to New York with my mother for a whole day. And we just, I don't think to this day I've ever had a better day. Like, the whole day was full of spirited, fun, silly conversation. We went and visited so many places and had great food, and I was thin at the time, so like I was feeling my absolute best, my most healthy, and we went home super late. We were even laughing on the train back home. Like it was the most perfect day I think I've ever had in my life.
So I bring that up to ask you this. In that moment, when you think back to that now, but putting yourself in
I already know what you're
past tense.
Yeah.
Did you know in that moment when it was happening that was something that you were going to look back on?
I actively, and I'm not kidding when I tell you this, I was actively thinking to myself, I will never forget this. The entire, I mean, not the entire day, like it would reoccur like throughout the day.
Yeah.
But like throughout the day, speckled throughout the day, I was just like, I'm never ever going to forget this. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I really think happiness is when you become not only aware of your current situation, but you're enjoying being in that current situation. I think that's what happiness is. And then you go back to what everybody calls normal. So you're thinking about what you have to do, what needs to be done tomorrow, what needs to be done next week, next month, next year. You're also thinking about, man, I remember when I did this, and I remember when I did that, and I remember when I fucked up here and there and everywhere, you know, like that's how those are the two states that we sort of fluctuate between all the time. Happiness is the thing that brings you out of that fluctuation and puts you right where you actually are.
I'm also thinking about negative too. Like in the sense that does the same thing happen with a negative experience when you're in the middle of doing it?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's in your control or not. Is that something where when you're in that moment, because I'm thinking about that now, do I in that moment, am I going, oh, this is going to be something like that is going to haunt me for the rest of my, you know, when it's really big in the middle of an argument.
Yeah.
When it gets really heated and that one thing, you can insert it here for whatever it is for you, but that one thing fucking falls out of your face and you go, I can never take that back.
Oh, yeah.
And now every time I have a moment of silence in my mind, that's gonna fucking creep up on me.
Yes.
And it's just gonna haunt me.
So I'd say 99% of the time, you're doing that stuff all the time with people that you interact with, but most of the time it's positive. Like you're deepening a relationship, or you're bonding with somebody even more. You're getting to know each other better, things like this. But that 1% of the time where you say something and it is so bad that you know it's going to fundamentally change the way you interact with that other person for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, that's you're talking about in its own way. That's a traumatic thing to have happen. I mean, and then on that subject too, traumatic experiences in general. If you've ever been abused, if you were bullied,
Now that you brought that up, though, I want to just touch upon this real fast and say, okay, if we were in a setting now where for whatever reason I was bullying you.
Yeah.
Now, you carry that with you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
the bully
goes back and thinks of that as maybe that's their fond memory? Or
if they're sick enough, yeah,
right?
Of course,
or that's I wonder if they
I really got that one time.
Yeah, like, oh, that gives me joy to think about punching him in the fucking mouth. Yeah. That's alright, I can always hit this. I can throw the censor sound effect in there. But I mean, hey, listen, you know what? In all honesty, we shouldn't even, because, and we'll do it anyway, probably, but I'll tell you why we shouldn't, because when we were in school, that was the vernacular that was used.
Yeah.
That word didn't mean then what it does now.
No. I mean, it did, but, like,
nobody
used it
wasn't
like that.
used actively like that, yeah.
But, like, no, absolutely. I definitely think that there's people out there that they revel in it, sort of. Like, they're just like, yeah, man, I got that kid real good that one time. I feel like, though, most people that were bullies
feel remorse at some point.
Not even remorse. I think they're just like, it becomes a non-issue to them over time. Like, they're just like, okay, well, I was a kid then, whatever. And then I have to imagine, yeah, of course, some do feel remorse. I just told the story, I think it was episode 11, where that kid, Craig Voss, he stole my Korn CDs, but then years later, he came up to me. He offered to repay me for the CDs. Yeah, like, there are definitely people that try to own up to their mistakes, for sure.
And then there's people that also will do some shit and then act like they never did it, or they will never acknowledge that they were wrong.
Yeah, well, of course, dude. Not a lot of people think they're wrong when they're doing something. I mean, when you're you basically try to find every way you can to justify your actions. Like, that's something that I think we all do. So I don't read that shit as lying a lot of the time. When you see somebody come on TV and they're just like, I honestly had no idea I was impacting people so negatively. I believe them when they say that shit, because, like, you really can't see it unless you're outside of yourself and you're experiencing it from the other end.
Or you're really self-aware.
Except for, like, obvious shit like rape and stuff. Like, if anybody ever fucking rapes somebody and then they get on and they're just like, I thought you wanted to do it. Like, that's almost always bullshit.
I would think there's a fair chance that some of those people do trick themselves into believing the lie.
Like I said before, the really sick ones, yes.
Yeah.
The ones that are really just too fucking damaged to distinguish reality from fantasy, absolutely.
And then I don't know why, but my brain automatically went to, in school, you ever have a girl take your hoodie from you? Take a hoodie from you to be like, oh, I'm wearing this now. And then I thought immediately after that was, okay, I never got that shit back.
I know. Okay, yeah.
And then 2 is, wait, bitch, I can't borrow anything from you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How come that's one currency that only goes one way, and they don't have to do any. There's not, I'm going to give you this hoodie, and then later on you can give me a hand job. There's none of that.
No.
It's just, I like your clothing, and I'm going to take it and make you think that I like you, when really, I just like that hoodie. And don't get me wrong, there is the chance that, I mean, of course, maybe on some level, they must like you. They're not going to go to a stranger and say, hey, I like that sweater, let me wear it.
Yeah, girls. So you just sort of canceled out what I was going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Girls tend to fuck with you like that when they like you.
Yeah.
Like that's something and by the way, this is why females are just fucking, they're never going to not be terrifying or uncomfortable for me. Like really, I'm not even
because how wild is that of a thing to do?
I love women. I was raised by a woman for 20 years of my life. Like genuinely, I have no ill will toward female kind. That being said, I really wish I was gay. Like, I'm not even fucking gay.
Really?
Dudes are so much fucking easier to read. And you know why? Not a lot of reading happening. They usually say shit out loud. Like, what you hear and what you see is what you get. Women, there is some sort of, like, fucking underlying current of actuality when you're dealing with, on the surface of,
where the flirt level ends and the fucking disinterest begins.
Well, no, where are you getting that from?
Because, like, okay.
No, well, let me finish my thought. I was going to say, where on the surface you're dealing with, you need to intuit what I want. That's a lot. Women tend to put a lot of stock into intuition. Like,
right, but then they are false advertising because they can also, they run up on you and they say, hey, I like that hoodie and I guess I must really miss my clothing that I'm harping on this so badly. But dude, there's a very, very thin line between flirting, I like you, let me have that hoodie, and just because I borrowed your hoodie doesn't mean that I'm interested in you. Why would you think that? We're just friends. Friends don't let each other borrow clothing. Why are you being such a creep right now?
Well, that's like, right, it's all dependent on how they measure out your response to that action. So, like, there's every chance in the world, let's say, this is hypothetical, let's say that girl takes your hoodie from you. Mm-hmm. Depending on how you respond to that action, she's going to either say, let's hang out on Friday, or here's your fucking hoodie back, you're weird, get away from me, kind of stuff. You know, like that. Yeah, and of course, you're never going to know. Like, you're not going to know, well, what if I tried it this way? Would it have gone differently?
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. Like, but that's also sort of building relationships, right? Is like, you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle in the dark, that the pieces are landing in the right place to complete the picture.
And then the worst part is that you only know what they tell you.
Of course.
Everything that you know could be a complete fucking lie.
And by the way, guys do that shit too. Like, it's not relegated just down to women, but I'm saying women are a little bit more fucking clever than men too. So, like, women are able to manipulate the situation way more cleverly than men are. Because men sort of, they're after a while, a man is extremely obvious. Women, they are complicated and really sort of like emotionally intellectual in a way that men never will be. 117 subscribers, by the way.
Now, I could probably answer my own question before we get to what you just said, but I was in the bathroom taking a leak, dude, and I just thought to myself, well, if women are like that, then why is there not more? They're perfectly cookie cutter cut to be serial killers. And then I immediately went from that to thinking, well, probably because men are more impulsive than women are, and that's why.
Absolutely.
That's why. So
women tend to thrive on
the build-up,
long-term calculation. Men are all about the here and now a lot of the time.
Yeah,
you know?
they want the build-up, the foreplay of the situations where we just want to fucking shove it in you. Basically all it is.
I mean, again, I was raised by a woman for 20 years of my life, so I would say that I have a little bit more feminine qualities than most of the men that I grew up with or was friends with coming up. But like,
but your man brain, I would imagine.
Yeah, the man side of my brain, like, of course, when you first, it's universal. When you first see a gorgeous, like, attractive woman, your first thought is, I'd like to fuck them. And try to lie about it, man. You're lying if you say otherwise. You're not thinking to yourself, wow, I bet she's an extremely great conversationalist when you see a sweet fucking pair of curves on somebody.
Yeah, but let's not act like every woman out there is like, I just want a guy that's gonna make me laugh and make me happy. Like,
no, there are some that want to get
just as gross as we are.
There are some that want to get fucking ran down like they're under an 18-wheeler, for sure.
Definitely. They're fucking just as disgusting as us. The only difference, I feel like, is we are the hip-hop of humanity. In the sense that we're very cut and dry with what we think and the way that we are. Whereas women are more sensual and all that shit.
Oh, they're fucking jazz is what they are.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They're too complex for most people to deal with. And at the end of the day, only a few will actually crack the code and understand what the hell's going on with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's an intro that will be placed in before this, so you have context of what it is that we're going to talk about. But so you were about to bring up before we stepped out briefly about your channel, so
yeah,
I'll leave it up to you.
So I've just been part of, as of this moment, an 18-hour odyssey of sorts. So I've been a fan of YouTube content and content creators for quite some time. It's also sort of a big part of the business that I ultimately want to be a huge professional in, to understand YouTube content marketing, video marketing in general. But I never fancied myself ever becoming any sort of like real legitimate content creator. But last night, off of the suggestion of one of our mutual subscribers, this guy named that calls himself Demos.
Yeah.
He wrote on one of my videos a while back, I think it was on the Parkway Drive video, reaction video that I did. And I do reactions for fun once in a while, very sparingly as a matter of fact. But he wrote on there, he was like, dude, you should listen to Nightwish Ghost Love Score. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll tape that, whatever. And I go and find this video. I think it was for Wacken Open Air, which is like this it's a big metal festival in Germany that they do every year. And I guess the thing was filmed by Nuclear Blast, which I'm assuming is Nightwish's record label now. So I'm not thinking anything,
Speaking of which, real quick, the other day on episode 11, we brought up Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And he was signed to Nuclear Blast at one point.
Really?
As well as Geffen and Roadrunner.
No shit.
Yeah.
He was actually signed to Nuclear Blast?
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's fucking crazy, because usually they deal with
one only.
Well, at least back in the day, it was a lot of European metal bands, so I didn't know that he would be a part of that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I do a reaction video for Nightwish's Ghost Love Score, and now everybody knows on the other end of it, I was fucking blown away by it. I stopped listening to Nightwish, like actively listening to Nightwish back in 2005 when Tarja Turunen was still the lead singer. I actually forgot, it was something that people brought up on the video after I did it, was that Ghost Love Score was originally sung by Tarja, but I guess it just sounded so different to me with this new woman, Floor Jansen, singing it, that it just didn't register that it was an old Nightwish song. But anyway, fast forward one spot to 2011, I sort of get reintroduced to Nightwish, and it was through the End of an Era tour that they did when Tarja was actually leaving the band. I remember that was the first time I ever cried, because it was sad. It was like, wow, man, she's leaving for good, But then you come forward to now, I watch this video, I react hugely to it. I started crying toward the end, and in fact, the crying was so surprising to me that I started laughing because I felt ridiculous. You can see it in the video. I start laughing, and that's because I'm crying and I can't fully control the situation. Like, it's just making me fucking cry, which I guess later I find out that fans refer to as a floorgasm.
Which is, I know you don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking ridiculous thing to say. Like, when we call you guys bird watchers, we know that naming something in big groups, it's goofy.
It cuts it down.
Look,
it's harmless.
It's good for marketing,
yeah,
but it's gay.
No, it's don't come on.
I know,
man.
I'm gonna cut that part out, but that's what it is. That's what it is. That's how I feel.
Okay, I'm gonna speak as the person creating the content really quick.
Look, hold on. Let me give the disclaimer, because I'm gonna have to start doing this now. The views of Draco One Trade do not necessarily represent the views of Douglas B. or the content related to his YouTube channel.
So what I was gonna say is I actually loved hearing the term. There's a user called Enigma Tim. He was the very first one. I think he might have been my God damn it, I suck at doing things chronologically. So I do the video, I upload it, And I'm not expecting much, right? Yesterday afternoon, I had 4 subscribers. I get on there, I do some rinky-dink Minecraft streaming, and because my fucking processor throttles itself so hard on my computer, like my live streams crash a lot, and like I have all kinds of problems with them. But I thought I made this video with only Demos in mind. Like, I was like, yeah, I'll give him a little thrill. Like, I'll let him see me react to this.
Yeah, plus, I mean, he's awesome, dude.
Dude, he's such an active, like, just enjoyer of our stuff.
I'm just gonna move that right there, so that hopefully it looks like it's. I know you're getting picked up,
we were
okay, but
hard.
I talk really low.
But
so he's a fucking. Real quick, I just want to say, shout out to him, and I know you've said it a few times in a couple of the videos.
I love Demos.
But he's one of the main reasons why we're even doing this right now.
Absolutely, Demos has been such a vocal, just proponent of everything that we're doing. Like we're relatively certain. Well, no, we're not relatively certain. He's the one that really wanted to hear podcasts from us. So we were like,
yeah.
It's really funny. Like, we've been thinking about one user while we've been doing a lot of this stuff. So that the same goes for that video I did.
Yeah.
The Nightwish video, I was like, cool, I'm going to get to give Demos something back because he's always showing up to my stuff.
And I mean, then there's this. You uncovered a fucking, a mine.
Yeah, Demos, I had no idea that you just had a pocket full of Nightwish fans that you were getting ready to throw in my eyes. So this video lands, I see it come up a little bit. The numbers on my Parkway Drive and a Phantomer video, I think I had 25 people, which I was like, that's super cool, that's neat. And same thing with the Phantomer, it was like 30. I was like, cool, man, like I've had some people look at my stuff. So I watched the views go up on the Nightwish video, and at first I'm like, dude, this is cool, like this is getting better engagement than any of my other stuff. Like I saw 40, 50, 60 views. I'm like, wow, this is...
Right, now wait a minute. Real quick, let's put that on pause for a second. Honestly.
Yeah.
What were your expectations? If you had to put a ceiling on it.
My expectations were... I can actually put it in pretty solid perspective. And now I realize it was probably because of the late hour, but I remember I grabbed... I think it was like 11 new subscribers. It went up to 15 subscribers.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, subscribers are going to be very different from views. Views happen a lot more often. So I was like, I'll probably top out, and I was very excited about this. I'll top out at like 150, 200 views.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot. I was excited to see that number, you know. But then as the hours are going by, I'm chatting to Kevin. I'm literally on the phone with him and talking to him, and all of a sudden, the exponential rate of the views starts hitting, and I'm seeing within 5-minute like time increments, I'm seeing 40, 50 new views on this thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then as the hours go by even more, fast forward to this morning, I'm seeing 100 views every 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this thing is exploding.
It's crazy.
And what's even more thrilling to me is I'm watching the comment section just get built the fuck out. People are coming in and they're saying, this is my favorite reaction I've ever seen of Ghost Love Score. Like, yours is by far the best reaction. I cried right along with you. This is such a pure and honest sort of reaction to Floor. Enjoy your first Floorgasm, which is what I was getting ready to say. Enigma Tim, I think he was like my 3rd comment on the video. He was the first one I ever heard that term from, and it made me laugh. And then I saw that apparently this is a community-wide term. Like, a lot of people use it, and I'm just like... My favorite thing is when people are saying, like, okay, you skipped pieces of the song, but you redeemed yourself because you gave yourself 3 Floorgasms toward the end of the video. Stop it! You are such a negative jerk.
No, you know what? Yeah, fuck that, I am.
You are.
You redeemed yourself. On behalf of YouTube creators everywhere, excluding Doug. Fuck that bullshit.
Dude, it's like when you're talking some serious shit about a celebrity and you have to be like, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck, you redeemed yourself. Who the fuck do you think you are? And I can say this because I'm 400 strong. I don't give a fuck about what people think of me or what I say, dude.
You know, I'm starting to think, I think that the thing that separates us with this
is that you're a nice guy.
No, believe it or not, it's the fact that when I was younger, I was this way with music, where like if I read an article like in Hit Parade, because obviously I've been listening to metal for a long time.
Yeah.
Hit Parade was a big rock and metal magazine. if I read an article that said even one remotely unflattering thing about a band I liked, I'd be like, I'm never rating this fucking asshole again.
Well, see, no, wait, let me pause you there, because in a live stream I did a couple of weeks ago, I got into a conversation with music with a few people, and they brought up that Tupac was overrated. I'm a huge Tupac guy, but I can, in a conversation like that, I can look at it from an outsider's perspective, and I can say, oh, I could see why you would think that.
Yeah, see, no, I was a total prick when I was young. If you didn't like what I liked, I was like, well, you got shitty taste, fuck you. So I was like,
a lot of that.
I understand the diehard fan sort of thing. So these are diehard, and I was told, I think actually also, while I'm on the subject of Enigma Tim, I'm pretty sure he's the one that also said, get ready for an influx of Nightwish fans to show up to this video. And he said, like, even, dude...
I'm skipping the video, I'm skipping your channel.
Enigma Tim, props for being the Nostradamus of the channel so far, because you literally predicted everything that happened. You said there was going to be an influx of Nightwish fans. You said that people were going to... basically, you were going to be judged heavily because they're hardcore fans. And the third thing you said was... don't skip through the song anymore, because I'm telling you, people will literally leave the channel for you doing that. And then all of those things started happening.
Which, I mean, credit to the people who do that. Not shit on anybody for cutting up their video, because look, YouTube copyright. For the people who are not aware, that are not content creators, YouTube copyright is a real pain in the ass, and you only get 3 strikes before they shut your channel down.
And the thing is, like, I know that probably a lot of people are looking at me cutting up the video for copyright reasons and saying, oh, well, he's probably hoping to monetize. No.
You can't.
When you go into reaction videos, you can't monetize. The reason I was cutting it up, actually, it was a 2-pronged thing for me. Number one, I was cutting out some of the refrains just because I wanted to get you guys to my bigger reactions once I saw the full raw video. When I was editing it, I was like, okay, I want to get them to the parts that are really going to resonate with them for anybody that was watching it.
You're always worried about... Retention in time is a huge fucking deal.
And actually, let me branch off of that. I was only thinking of Demos. Like, I wasn't thinking every Nightwish fan on the planet was going to show up, so I was like, I'll get them to the good parts,
Even if you did have them in mind, let's be honest. You make a 10-minute YouTube video, people are going to watch 2 minutes of that, on average.
So this is the thing, like, people's attention spans are known to be quite limited when it comes to any sort of online content. So that's why I cut out some of the refrains. The second reason is, I know that the step between a copyright claim and a copyright strike is an outright block. I did not want this to get blocked because I wanted it to actually show up on my channel. Claims I don't give a shit about. That's going to happen with literally every single reaction video I put up.
Yeah, because again, you're not going to make money off of reactions.
That's what I'm saying. And eventually I won't care about blocks, because like once my audience now, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but if this audience keeps growing, if I get up to like 1,000 subscribers, I've decided I'm going to start a Patreon so that I can actually, one of the benefits for the Patreon, like if you subscribe to me for money every month, I'll straight up Dropbox you the blocked videos. Like I'll send them to you so that you can see them. Because otherwise they're not visible. I won't be able to put them up on YouTube. There's an argument to be made about, oh, well, you can go watch them on Vimeo, but how many people are actually going to go over to Vimeo to watch it? That's what I'm saying.
I was just going to say, the big issue here also is lazy views. The amount of people who will show up to a YouTube video, but when it comes down to, you want the whole thing, you want the weed, but you're not worried about me having to smuggle it over the border and shove it in my ass.
That's a pretty fucking hardcore analogy, but it's true.
To get through customs. All you're worried about is rolling up that fucking Dutch Master.
And by the way, my opinion, and Kevin knows this, even a couple hours ago, I was just like, yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Kevin. Like, people, you've already heard, the viewers have already heard the song. They should be more concerned with your reactions. And I do get that. But I've had a little bit of change of heart. I get wanting to like live through every second of the song with somebody. I truly do. And you guys have to know I'm going to try to do that. Like I'm definitely going to try to do it. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if I have to tell some of you that I got some videos blocked, because if I do that stuff, what I'll try to do, my approach is going to be, I'm going to pause. Like I'm going to pause when I do The Poet and the Pendulum especially, like, people are saying that that's going to be crazy hard to actually get up on YouTube. Like, a lot of people get blocked with it. So I'm going to try with pausing and stuff, but don't be surprised if it doesn't come through and it gets blocked. But anyway, I'm getting way the fuck ahead of myself. Over the course of these 18 hours that I've been existing in, I've watched my subscribers, which I was never concerned with. I wasn't looking to become a YouTube channel, like an actual channel. But I went from 4 subscribers to now I'm sitting at, I think it's like 120 the last time I checked.
Which is crazy because I've been doing this for 3-4 months and I've just hit 400.
That's what I'm saying. This response is absolutely outrageous to me. It makes no sense, but then also on the other end of it, it makes a lot of sense. I get it, and the reason I say I get it is because I remember being younger and like that excitement that you would get when a friend picked up a new album and you would want to go over to their house and listen to it with them, like a listening party essentially, and sort of like revel in the same sort of moments as somebody else. Or even at like concerts when you go to see a band that you love and you're standing around other fans of the band and you're sort of feeding off of their energy from how they're enjoying it. That's why like reaction videos make sense to me in that regard.
They do and they don't, because the other end of the spectrum is everybody on YouTube that watches reaction videos acts like they've never had a buddy that they both have went and listened to the album and their friend said to them like, yeah, no, dude, this album fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, well,
none of that.
You've dealt with that heavily. See, I haven't been in the game long enough. Kevin has, what are you, like 600 videos out or something?
Yeah.
Like 600 something videos out. And what Kevin has experienced, like, when I kind of agree with you. I think that with reaction videos, people are largely expecting to see you react positively to something they like, not to give an actual honest review about something that you haven't acquainted yourself with yet.
There's, and I'm not talking about the 400 subscribers, but pick the number of whatever video you want for the views that are on it, but there's that X amount of people who are my girlfriend in this scenario that is asking, does she look fat in this dress? You don't want the answer. If you do look fat and I tell you that's not a good look for you, I'm an asshole for telling you that you don't look good, but really I'm trying to look out for your best interest. Now you can argue.
No, see, you're making yourself more sinister. That's a bad, the only reason I say that's a bad analogy is because you're talking about something that should have, you're talking about somebody that should have the presence of mind, not to give the honest answer, but they're going to anyway. No, that is sort of an asshole approach. You're not doing an asshole approach. You're simply giving an honest opinion about something you're watching.
Which, it bothers me that people don't, and there's a reason why there's 400 people on the channel, and there's a reason why you have almost half of that already. People do, and it's a niche market I feel like I've tapped into from being honest. Whereas your channel, between the both of us, we have every element that a video could possibly have, because you're the Disneyland to my amusement park that people used to go and get killed at. I don't know what it's called, but
to Dismal Land by Banksy.
The one that Johnny Knoxville just starred in, he was making a movie about it. It used to be in New Jersey.
Oh, yes.
And you're going to want to shoot yourself for doing that later.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, fuck. You know what? Put this in your pocket.
I gotta give you something to fidget.
I need a fidget spinner, goddammit.
I have one in the house somewhere.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it right now. But what I wanted to say was, like, so this is it's why I was laughing. This is the difference between you and I. So, like, I already know what my approach is going to be if I don't like something that I watch.
Family friendly.
And it's going to be a very, no, it's not family friendly, but I've been a hardcore music fan literally my entire life. I was brought up on music by my mother. So, like, what'll end up happening is if I don't like something, I'll pull it apart. And I'm not talking about destroy it. I mean, like, I will go into very granular sort of criticisms about it. So I'll make sure that people fully understand why I don't like it. And I'll also point out its merits. You like to get into a fucking gunship and torpedo shit. Like, that's it. You're just like, fuck this, it's stupid, I'm out. And
but that's like, because it's a knee-jerk, honest reaction.
It is.
In that moment, I'm not sitting there going, well, it's the way that he said this word that really killed me. It's no, I want to punch a fucking baby in the face right now because I had to listen to this asshole go on a 3-minute soliloquy about his fucking cars and his jewelry or whatever the fuck it is. And I'm using that as
You're
an
talking
example.
about garbage music, truly, when you say that.
Or even like that Beth lady that I can't remember her name, the one that sounds like Janis Joplin and Fiona Apple.
Oh, Beth Hart?
Yeah, Beth Hart. Beth Hart. People said that I was a fucking jerk.
Yeah, no, I don't like Beth Hart either.
For that. Like, dude, listen. You're giving a lap dance to a woman in the crowd.
See, the thing is, her performance is genuine. I'm not going to say it isn't, but it's genuine for a reason that I'm pretty certain I'm right about, which is I think she's at least a little bit actually insane.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, I don't think it's genuine out of she's feeling the music so hard. I feel like if she eats a good enough sandwich, she's giving lap dances to the waiter. You know what I mean? Like, bro, she's kind of got that sort of energy around her.
You gotta be crazy to take your box and put it on a stranger's box in a crowd of people.
A box, sorry.
And then... And act like that's completely normal, like that's a thing that happens. Like you're practically scissoring the girl in the crowd, and everybody is just staring at you. At that point, you become a spectacle of yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's not about the music anymore. It's about how dirty everybody has got their dick in their hand watching what is happening.
Oh, dude, I would have been straight whacking it if I was sitting next to that. I'd be like, yeah, keep going.
You know what I mean? So like,
touch the inside of her leg a little.
I'm a jerk though for pointing out the fact that you have now made yourself a spectacle when anybody with a brain in their head is going to look at that and go, well, see, now you've taken the focus away from your music, and that's where you're opening yourself to criticism.
No, okay. I'm going to devil's advocate now. See, this is, I actually like this because you and I come at it from different places.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I think what most people are going to see when they see that performance, at least people that are, let's say, they're intellectually built to enjoy that the way some of her diehard fans enjoy it.
Yeah.
They're going to see that and they're going to be like, she has become the music. Like she's literally a living piece of the music now. That's what makes that performance so amazing to them, is like she has been utterly swept out of reality and into the fantasy of the song that she's singing.
Okay, so then what would she have to do? And I know you don't have the answer, you're not one of these people, but to these people I would ask...
Yeah, but I have had similar experiences. Go ahead. Yeah.
At what point then do you stop making excuses of saying, well, she's just feeling her oats in the moment, and then if she were to start stripping in the crowd, or if she would have took that girl's hand and shoved it down her pants at that point, like...
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to actually answer that question with a nice little tidbit of music history that you might enjoy. You're talking about what do you think are either her limitations or the audience's limitations before somebody says, this is too fucked, I gotta step out.
Yeah.
G.G. Allin, a punk rocker from back in probably, I want to say he was prevalent mostly in the 80s, maybe going into the early 90s a little bit. Legitimately insane. He was a nihilist, he was a Satanist, he was a misanthropist, he was an evil, evil person. Like, he legitimately was a shitty person. He would get on stage and he would shit into his hand and throw it at the crowd.
Shut the fuck up.
He would puke on himself. He would puke on other people in the crowd. He would smear shit on his body. He would eat his shit on stage. Like, so you're asking me, when would somebody look at Beth Hart and say, stop?
Yeah,
the answer is
a train wreck.
Depending on the fucking fan.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you might not ever see somebody say stop.
That is true. I mean, I guess because they all want to see everybody likes to see a car crash, right? Mm-hmm. Like they all want to see how far is this thing gonna actually go.
Yes, but
when does her common sense pop back into her brain and go, oh no, I'm putting myself in a very bad position.
Well, that's the thing with this music and with these performances and stuff. Everybody knows that at some point the last note's gonna hit and the lights are gonna come up. So there's not any sort of like, oh, this is really going to go off the rails and there's going to be injury or things like this. Like, so the answer to that question really is, it's really another question, which is, would that fan that is so just into that moment really want it to stop? And the answer is no. And I've been there before with certain performances. Conor Oberst, the lead singer of Bright Eyes, he's also done his own solo stuff. He's also done stuff with other artists. I would actually, in a weird way, I would compare Conor to Beth in the sense that, like, they become the music that they're creating and that they're writing. I mean, the album I'm Wide Awake It's Morning. See, I'm getting lost into this subject, but
real quick, I want to point out though that I'm not saying this about Beth to single her out, because another artist that just immediately came to mind was Madonna.
Oh yeah, I mean she's
another one.
She's a perfect mainstream example of that.
She got swept into and became a spectacle of her persona.
Sure,
I feel like.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, there's tons of artists. Prince. I mean, you're Fish. Like a lot of these bands that attract these massive crowds, like
Pearl Jam.
They're all looked at as not necessarily people, but really archetypes of the music that they're creating. So like you're talking about something where the members of the band become the music itself in a fucking, I know that's weird to keep saying, but really that's how it looks to me. So like there are bands that I love, there are musicians that I love. Devin Townsend's another great fucking example. Devin Townsend, his music reflects directly his personality. Like when he's
different though, I feel like out of everybody that I've watched.
Well, just because you find the way he gets into his shit palpable versus the way Beth does it.
Well, not only that, but his genuine personality and that might be who Beth is at the source. But we looked into her.
Well, it is. I guarantee.
It turns out she's had drug issues.
She has mental illness.
Yeah, so maybe that's a part of it. Whereas Devin Townsend also has, but he's gotten so far removed from that I feel like now you're only seeing what he's spinning his own. You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say,
but how good he is at what he does and how nice he is as a person. Everybody who has ever been to his concert, people leave in the comments about how he stopped and said hi to everybody and thanked everybody for coming out. Like it just shines through him, and it makes. I'm doing jazz hands in the fucking side room watching a video of his just because he makes me want to fucking get involved with what he's doing, man.
I don't need it now because I got to start writing shit down because when you go off on a tangent, I forget what I'm talking about. But like. What
which is rare,
but like my point is, you're making the argument for me, which is that you're just talking about with Devin specifically. You're talking about another artist whose personality informs their music. Like that's literally when you listen.
Strapping Young Lads versus Devin Townsend project.
When Devin Townsend was in Strapping Young Lad, he was an angry drunk. He had a ton of alienation he was facing in his life. Personal relationships, professional relationships. He was an angry fucker. So that's the music he was creating. When he finally got out of that, when he got sober, and when he started like, I think it was really a lot of it too was when he had his kid and like he started seeing. He had a kid. Yeah. And when he started seeing all these positive things and he finally he took the reins on his life finally and said, okay, I need to bring this under control for other people. That's when the Devin Townsend project started coming out, where he had a lot of like really introspective moments in his life at that point, and he started realizing that he was extremely thankful for things. That's when you get DTP. His personality informed the music. Now you have Devin Townsend solo again, which he's done before, but he's got like an amalgam of artists working with him. It's a whole tapestry of sounds now, and that's because he's reaching a moment in his life now where he's understood himself better. And now what he's trying to do is he's trying to dig down and really sort of understand the fundamentals of what makes him tick, which is how you're getting the album Empath, where it sort of goes all over the place.
The fact that he can make a music video of him sitting at a table, listening to his own song, and watching a video, that's what the video is. If you haven't seen his music video, that's what it is.
But this is my overarching point is, you're making the argument for the artists like Beth Hart and even Gigi Allen is like who they are informs the music that they play. You just happen to find Devin's personality to music like combination more appealing than Beth Hart's music to personality combination, which, by the way, I agree with you on it. I can't be a fan of that stuff, and it's just outside of the way she's acting. It's also like I don't like her vibrato. Like I'm not a fan of the fucking sound that she does with her voice. I'm not a fan of her voice, really.
Insert gunshot here. I don't like Eddie Vedder for that fucking reason.
Yeah.
That it sounds like he's constantly stuck on a broken elliptical and he's bouncing around all over the fucking place.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan either.
Fucking ridiculous. But in fairness to her, though, I feel like I have to keep fucking saying this. I listened to one song. I watched one video.
Yeah, but sometimes that's all you need, and that's fair. That's a fair thing to have.
Do you think so? Because
yes.
I can easily turn around and make an argument of, okay, well, somebody that met you on a bad day might have a false sense of reality
of course they do.
Who you are as a person. Now, wouldn't you want to give them the opportunity to see you at another point in time where you can kind of say, all right, look, there was that, now there's this, now decide who you think I am.
Certainly, but I don't expect that to be the outcome.
The norm.
Yeah, it's just, so for me, like, when I hear a piece of music, if I don't like it, like, at that point, I'm at a zero state with reasons to go back and explore more of the discography of that band or person, whatever it might be. So yeah, if they pop up 10 years down the line and all of a sudden they have a song out that I like, then
Parkway Drive.
That's fucking cool. Exactly what I was going to lead into, Parkway Drive. I hated Parkway Drive. I don't necessarily know that I can say that I'm even like a hardcore fan of theirs yet, but I will say that their sound...
You're a casual listener.
But their sound has evolved enough since they first came out that I can now listen to them and get way the fuck into it.
Yeah, but that's what 1 or 2 albums so far, right? Like you said, two. Yeah, you went back to the older shit still, and still feeling garbage. The way that you do about Wishing Wells, you can't do it with the other shit.
So that's a perfect example of what you were just asking before, which is like if you hear something for the first time and you hate it, do you feel justified? Yeah, because what I heard in that era of their music was not something I'm going to enjoy. So, like, I went back and like Kevin just said, I went back and listened to the older Parkway Drive albums. Still hate them. I'm never going to be a fan of that style. It's like winecore fucking, like, soft metal shit. I'm not a big fan of that stuff.
But like, so you think of a fucking, a bottle of wine in an office that's tipped into the Poland Springs water dispenser, and a bunch of people in flip-flops and khakis are sitting there with the cone cups, and they're just pressing the button down, drinking red wine in a fucking office.
I picture like a battalion, an army of 45-year-old women named Karen, like with their little stupid Riesling glasses. But yeah, oh my god, I went so fucking off track again. God damn it!
This is the point of why we do this. Is to.
But I want the fans that showed up to my channel to hear me.
I'm gonna go grab a drink. You get into what you're gonna get into. I'm not gonna distract.
No, it's not It's not you. It's me. I'm allowing myself to get pulled out of it. But like, the overarching point is, I have had such an amazing day off of this. Like this whole day and a decent amount of last night has been just I suffer from manic depression. I have clinical manic depression, and it's something that's been a real beast in my life for a very long time. So I don't get to sit down and say very often that I'm having an immaculately good day. The people, if you guys ever tune into this, the people that have showed up to my channel off of that Ghost Love Score video that I did, I want to thank you, even if it's the only time I ever get to have it. Today, thank you so much for today.
All right, now that you got that out of the way, before you continue, what I'm going to do, because I know that they probably won't, is I will take this section where you say that, I'll cut it out, put it in a fucking MP3, and cut it so that you can upload that to the fucking channel if you want, so that your message doesn't get lost in translation.
Sure.
To all those people, because I don't think that they're gonna sit through
Well, I can put up a status now on YouTube and say like start listening at this, and you'll hear about you. You know.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, come on. We just got done talking about how lazy people are.
I did just get 100 views on a live stream that had no reaction, so like I'll take the chance. I don't necessarily want, because that's also a little bit pandery. I don't want to like just direct people to me like sort of slobbering on their knob, like saying, you know, thank you so much. This is what I'm coming from, a humble place. I don't want to promote that I'm kissing ass. It's just like I can't help it though in this instance, because Kevin will tell you, Kevin and I have been working on Kevin's channel for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, it's been all about, like...
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, but it's a gratifying burn.
No, it is. I would take 400 people over a big number, say 1 million people, and only a quarter of them actually like what they're seeing, and the rest of them are just on because it's the cool thing to do.
Yeah. This is what... The people that you still have are your people. Like, they really are.
Like William Duckett, Danielle, fucking
Demos. Demos, man. Demos, I'm putting Demos up top, dude.
Yeah.
This guy shows up to every fucking thing we do.
Anything. Doesn't matter what it is.
He watches me fuck around on Minecraft and then my computer crash. And do you know that Demos is sick enough? My computer crashes. He sits there and waits for me to boot back up. I love this fucking guy.
He is pretty fucking...
If we ever get the funds, if we ever have the ability, I'm sending out some sort of fucking swag to him or something, man.
Yeah, we had to. We gotta make hoodies or some shit, dude. Send him one. Because that motherfucker... But we gotta stain it up a little bit when we do. Because he likes to dress like he's homeless. His words, not mine. So we gotta stain it up, put some holes in it. So
put a fucking crack pipe burn on the fucking sleeves.
Yeah. Maybe a couple gunshots in there. Not gunshots, bullet holes.
Discarded plastic roses.
Fuck yeah.
In the pockets.
Give it that cigarette buddy.
I haven't sucked a dick yet for what I need, but I will. It's going to happen soon enough.
Give him the gas station bathroom vibe.
Yeah, fucking hang one of those wooden planks that they usually put on the fucking bathroom key off the fucking pocket.
Oh no! Hey, look, if we got your style fucked up, dude, let us know. But I think that's fair. Like, if you wanted to buy me a pair of pants, you just have to make sure they start at my ass and end at my ankles.
For those new to the podcast, Kevin has cerebral palsy and multiple sclerosis. Congratulations, by the way. You don't have to put yourself on the cross. I just crucified you. And it's very hard to keep his legs down for the nail, by the way. It's fucking... They just sort of... They spring back up like a fucking, like a straw of fucking paper.
I got bendy straws for legs.
But anyway, yeah, that the point of all that shit is to say, like, this has been just such a gratifying thing for me, and to bring more people on board, and yeah, like, you're right, it's quality over quantity. Like, you want those people that are going to stick by your side to be actual, like, friends of you, like not just fans, like abstract fans of what you do. Like, I know
supporters.
I have 120 subscribers right now. Last time I checked, at least I have 120 subscribers. If only 30 of those were left next week, and those were the ones that were like diehard by my side, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But then again, I didn't plan on having community show up to my channel. So now I also feel this weird pressure. Like, I'm like, I want to make sure I please them. I want to make sure that they're happy with what I'm doing. I want to make sure that they're responding to what I'm doing. And
but
like,
you also need to make sure that you're happy.
Fucking
with what you're doing.
Yeah. And I'm not going to fake any of my reactions. I really won't.
Because that's the one thing that I think gets really overlooked is it's all about the product you can deliver to me, but not how you feel when you're delivering it.
Well, put it this way. I'm sure I'm going to get a bevy of suggestions for stuff to listen to. Now, the stuff that I've gotten for Nightwish, of course I'm going to listen to that. And it's not just it's not some just self-aggrandizing reason like I want to build an even bigger audience. It's also because
why else would you do it?
Well, I know there are two things I know. One, I fucking love Floor Jansen as of today. I'm a fan of hers. I am officially a fan of hers. I've had multiple floorgasms already. Number two is I know that my channel is basically populated by Nightwish fans right now. So I know that content is deliverable for them. They're going to like that content. But if somebody suggests something in the comments that I don't want to listen to, guess what? I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah, you have that power.
You know,
I think
like,
people do forget that too, though.
Yeah.
You can choose what goes up and what doesn't.
Absolutely. And listen, I'll apologize in advance right here, right now, for choosing to ignore this or that suggestion. But like, there's just some stuff that either A, I've already listened to, or B, I don't enjoy. Like, it's going to happen. There's music I don't like. Like, all of the Nightwish fans that just showed up, for instance, I'll tell you ahead of time, don't suggest Evanescence to me. I can't stand them. Like, I'm not a fan of Evanescence.
So now, going on that, where is it appropriate? If somebody suggests to you, let's say they ask you to listen to, I don't know, Devin Townsend, Deadhead, right? That's a track that you know.
Yeah, I've listened to it multiple times. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I'll tell them.
Somebody suggests that to you, right? Yeah. And now you tell them, and yet they still drop it in the comments multiple times.
They're just
they want that.
They're never gonna get it. I don't know. Like I'm,
so that's the appropriate. That's the appropriate response, is to just ignore it, because I've tried to go the route of, I see what you're saying, dude, but you don't understand. I already know it, and I'm not gonna fake. Yeah. I'm not gonna fake what I'm doing here.
I don't. Okay, so I'll address it, and I will say, like, you know, I'm not gonna do this because I've heard it. If the person keeps roasting me about it and saying, come on, like, you know, record it anyway, after the first time I've said I'm not recording it, I'm not gonna say it again. Right. And if that person leaves, they leave. That's their own prerogative. Like, I'm not going to make somebody stay. There are two things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to, like, through anger, try to force somebody to stay on my channel. And I'm certainly not going to go chasing after people to stay on my channel.
Definitely not.
Like, you know, and I promise you, by the way, down the line, I'm not going to be doing reactions forever. Like, I'm definitely going to be branching off and doing different kinds of content, up to and including this podcast, up to and including gaming streams and Let's Plays, like I even want to get into at some point. You know, so this is, I'm going to continue doing what I like, but I'm always going to be considerate of what the people that show up to my channel like as well. Right now, like I said, I am dealing with literally 100% of the people that have subscribed to my channel in the past less than 24 hours are Nightwish fans. So I'm going to deliver content that they enjoy. I'm not going to shut them down on that. But at the same time, I'm also going to deliver content that I enjoy. And I would hope that because these people that showed up to my channel are saying, here, try this thing, see if you like it, I should be able to say the same thing back to them. Here, try this, see if you like it. When I put out this content that you don't necessarily know, you're not familiar with, give it a shot, because you asked me to give your content a shot. You know what I mean? It should be a tit for tat, a trade-off.
And unfortunately, it doesn't really... Oh, I shouldn't say that. I can't generalize, because it's only been my personal experience. Yeah. Only the people that are real big supporters of the channel are willing to go and listen to something that I'm saying. Like, okay, you guys have given me a lot of different artists to check out and stuff that I like. Here's an artist that I really enjoy that maybe you will like. And even if you don't like it, I want to know from you why you don't like it. Give me your reasoning so that I want to understand who you are as a person. And bringing it back again to episode 11, sometimes the best way to get to know somebody is to figure out what it is that they listen to.
What makes them tick, yeah.
But that's a lot of people, they don't care for that. They only want, it's like a demanding relationship where, what have you done for me lately?
That's also to me, that's also, you're asking for a level of intimacy that's probably not common on YouTube. So, like, to me, if I put out something and somebody says they don't like it, that's enough for me. Like, I'm not gonna probe into them and say, like, why don't you like it? That I don't know them well enough at that point to, like, sort of like, and I don't even treat it as getting in their face, but also on my end, I don't, how do you say this without sounding like a dick? I don't know you enough to really put that much thought into it. Like,
okay, so then what is the point? How is it a community then, right? Now, I don't know if you can follow me on this, but how is it a community if I can't work on, and I'm not saying I can't, I mean, obviously you can ask questions, doesn't mean you'll get the answers, but how can we say that it's a community if I can't get to know you, or you feel like I'm trying to probe, not you, the general you, trying to probe into who you are as a person, and maybe you're not comfortable with that. But isn't that the whole point between building a community?
So to me, it's like, and I'm not trying to put it into some sort of like structural thing, like a hierarchy or anything, but like on your channel, you're the leader, and the people that are coming and watching your content, they're a curious bystander. So in any other situation, it would be very strange, right? It would be very strange for this person that showed up to your rally to say, I don't like your politics, and for you to get off the podium, walk down to them specifically in this entire crowd of people and say, I want to talk to you about you not liking me because it doesn't sit well with me.
Well, not even that. It's, okay, so you don't like it. What don't you like about it? And is there ways that I can... Maybe there's something that I can do.
I mean, it doesn't sit well with me, as not saying that you're pissed at them.
Yeah.
That you're choosing curiosity with them specifically, and you're sort of like watching, you're not even looking at everybody else in the crowd.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is this question goes out to every person that's involved in the channel. So I'm not trying to single out one person and ignore everyone else, but if only one person pipes up about it, then I want to figure out what it is, because chances are this was brought up the other day where I forget what the name of it is called, but like how there's a crowd of people and something is happening, everybody thinks that somebody else is going to handle the issue, so nobody's going to do anything, thinking that somebody else is going to do it.
The only thing I could think of is like mass indifference, like, because it's not indifference, you're just waiting for somebody else to take care of the problem.
Yeah, because there was a story that Andrew Schultz was telling on Joe Rogan's podcast where he was saying about how there was a girl that was getting raped in New York City, and there were people in the neighborhood that heard what was going on. For about 45 minutes this went on, and when they were asked about it later on, all of the neighbors that heard it said, well, yeah, I thought somebody else was going to take care of it, so I didn't do anything.
You know, well, I mean, that's, first of all, that's an extremely different example than what we're talking. If you can sit there and hear somebody screaming bloody murder because something hard, whatever it is happening to them, you're a piece of shit. And what I would say is, however many bystanders there were, I would automatically think, just in the case, in the event that nobody decides to come to that person's aid, let me get on the phone immediately and call 911.
Yeah, which like I know that's way more extreme than what we're talking about, but I think it kind of goes the concept of what it is, not necessarily the situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know the proper answer. Maybe it's also down to the etiquette of like how these reaction channels tend to work. Like, I've only ever seen a couple of reaction channels outside of yours.
Yeah.
I've seen Lost in Vegas's. I saw, I want to say she calls herself Pink Metalhead. And then I think Rebecca or Rachel, I think it's Rebecca Vocal Athlete. Those are like the ones that I've seen. And I tend to notice that like the questions by and large come from the audience, and the reactor answers the questions. I don't usually see it happening the other way around.
Because I would just imagine that everybody can feel some kind of a way. Sure. But 90% of the people are not going to say anything about it. They're just going to live with that in their heart.
I think that's the energy I'm coming at it with, is like, I'm not, it's not that I'm not concerned with how people enjoy my stuff. It's that I'm not going to voice it simply because I understand you've shown up to spectate on what I'm doing. Like, I maybe it's something within my head where it's like, I don't want to break that fourth wall, and then the reactor becomes the guy asking the questions to the audience, because now you're treating the audience like the reactor, so to speak. I maybe that's what it is, but just to me, it's not something that I fundamentally bother myself with. Then again, I've been in this game for 18 fucking hours. I don't know what I'm going to be like down the line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is just, but for me right now, it just doesn't.
And the reason why I do it is because
I'm not shitting on you.
No, I know, but I'm saying other YouTube channels or musicians or whoever it is, you could take your pick, but wanting to interact with that person as being a quote-unquote supporter of theirs, so to speak. So I feel like maybe reaching out to these people and kind of extending them an olive branch is like a cool thing to do as somebody who has...
Well, of course. Yeah, I'm not talking about, like, not going out of your way to interacting with people. Like, that's what I did with the live stream before. Like, I got into and participated in a conversation with people in real time, you know what I mean? Like, that's something I absolutely, like, I want that to become a big piece of what I'm doing. But, like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's something where I'm a little timid, where I don't want somebody to feel like I'm putting them on the chopping block of sorts. Like, why do you feel that fucking way? Like, I don't ever, even if I'm not saying it like that, I don't want it to ever come off like that.
It's because, see, I want to have that genuine conversation, because I feel like what I'm doing is I'm metaphorically... We're sitting in a living room together. Yeah. We're playing a song, and we're having that open discussion, but I don't want to be the only motherfucker that's talking.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, again, that comes down to how I've noticed these channels working. Like, that sort of is the setup. So maybe I'm just sort of, like, prescribing to how other people are doing it right now.
Clearly it works. People get an infatuation with certain things, and when they know they can reach out and touch it, kind of takes away a little bit of the movie magic.
I don't know. I'm certainly I'm not trying to create any sort of allure around myself. Like, I don't think I have it. Like, I think
they do that for you. I kind of feel like
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you. You know, it's really funny because if they're thinking like that, what I've experienced in this chunk of time that this has been happening is I'm looking at them. It's really funny. Like, I'm looking at them as the experts in the room, because, like, I addressed it in my live stream, but they're telling me I didn't know anything really about the history of Nightwish until I started reading these comments.
I want to bring up Slipknot too.
Yeah, about what?
Apparently there's a fucking thing going on with them.
Oh yeah, Chris Fenn got kicked out of the band.
Yeah, what the fuck is that all about?
Because he found out that apparently the Sean Crahan and Corey Taylor, like I think Pig and the lead singer, obviously, they had some businesses within Slipknot. Like, they had some sort of companies that were all Slipknot branded, and
he wasn't getting money.
He didn't know information about those businesses. He had no idea what was going on with them. So, like, he got apparently upset about that, and then threatened to sue Slipknot to basically find out what these businesses were all about, and if any money was coming back to the band that wasn't being allocated to him in any way. They got into a big tizzy. Apparently it came out that, like, Slipknot collectively, their statement was, well, fuck Chris, like, then he's out. All he had to do was not poke around and he would have been fine, but, you know, he decided to.
Dude. Nah, that's fucked up.
Well, I'm not trying to make it sound like a big conspiracy. Maybe that's worded badly. What it really...
No, but, I mean, I'm seeing memes float around about it and shit. I mean, this is like an ICP move right here, this seems like.
I don't know. But then you have on the other end of it, Chris Fenn's attorney is saying, like, I mean, all he wanted to do was know what was going on. He wasn't trying to stir any shit. He wanted to know something that he didn't know. He still very much wants to be in the band.
And not to mention that, dude, if I help build this band with you,
yeah,
like, we're doing this podcast together, dude. If I go off and start a fucking revenue stream connected to this goddamn podcast and I don't tell you about it.
Oh, you know, that's fucked because we're doing this together.
Exactly. Like, dude, you
shared
can't.
Venture.
Yeah, you can't start a whole separate thing and then not even tell me about it.
That's how you know we're good friends, by the way. There's no contract. It's just like we've been friends for 15 years, so it's like, no, yeah, you're in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
that's how things should be, and I know this kind of brings me to
rose-colored glasses fucking shit right there, man. People are brutal to one another.
That and, you know, money. Clearly, it doesn't matter how long you've been in...
20 years Chris Fenn's been in Slipknot.
And just that quick?
Money's going to shut it down. And you know
what's the dollar amount that makes you go, you know, how much would it cost for you to say, fuck that guy. I'm taking this podcast and I'm going and I'm doing my own thing. Like, is there an amount of money that you think you could be bought with?
I am not going into my casket without people that love me near me. There's no money in the world that's going to make me shut down the people that that have been with me, that have been riding with me the whole fucking time.
Yeah, and then especially, I mean, the guilt
That's
wouldn't
what I'm
be
saying.
worth it.
Like, there's no way I'm sleeping at night in my beautiful bed in my fucking villa without staring up at the ceiling wondering, could I have brought that other person along with me on this, you know? Like, that's fucked up.
And I'm not even saying, like, I don't want people to hear me wrong. I'm not saying that you have to hand somebody everything that you...
Well, I'm not handing you shit. You're doing work.
Right, no, I understand that. But, I mean, I also feel like there's a group of people that would be involved in something, and regardless of what their contribution is, maybe they feel like they should get half when they're really only doing a quarter's worth of the profits.
Of course there is. That's why when you get actual startups going, like, equity is everything. Like, you got to figure out what the equity share is, and people get pissed when they hear, like, I'm only getting 8%, I'm only getting 10%. It's like, if you do 8 or 10% of the work, that's what you fucking get.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, that's how it works. But with ours, it's a joint venture. Like, I'm not setting any fucking numbers up for this. First of all, we can't yet. We're doing reaction videos. There's absolutely no monetization to them. We don't even have the number of fans you need to do monetization.
Well, for me, this is isn't now and probably never really will be about the money. This is a passion project of mine.
For me, this is bringing people to me. I am all about growing my community, and the fact that Nightwish sort of ignited that, like, I'm gonna keep doing that kind of shit because I want to bring people in. And what I like about the Nightwish community, they obviously have similar aesthetic tastes to me. Like, they're
until like you do something wrong and they try to kill you for it. I know. Dude,
you go dark no matter what.
Somebody's gotta always look, man. If I don't live in the dark and look out for the glowing eyeballs, you're not gonna see them when they creep up behind you.
You know that's not true because I think the same way. But I'm not gonna.
You don't feed the beast.
Yes, I'm not gonna vocalize it because that's not what I'm focused on right now. What I'm focused on is things are good. I'm ready for this. Ready for this. This is how you know I'm happy about what's happening. Things are good currently in the present.
Yeah.
Like,
until, fast forward 6 months from now. Oh no, they're fucking trying to kill me.
Like, I'll put out one video and I'll be like, I don't know, man. Floor didn't sound that great on that one. And then it's like, I'll watch my subscriber count. How fucking dare you? Zoom right down the fucking turlet. But
ridiculous.
You're like, haha, he said it.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, again, dude. Are we all gonna sit? I guess that's the thing to do.
I don't know, man. The whole thing has been just... It is. You tend to make it really dark. 131 subscribers. I fucking love you guys. I really do. Like, now, this is insane.
Okay, now I'm gonna put this out there, and I know you're not probably thinking about this yet, but because, again, I have the fucking Bird Box blindfold on 24 hours a day. I don't want you. DMX said something that was pretty interesting. Where?
What, in 2003?
Yeah, probably. But he said something that is timeless in the sense that somebody asked him about how he feels about the fans supporting him, and he was like, "Dude, you know what? I appreciate everybody that likes what I do and that supports me, but I don't care if they like me or they hate me. I can't let that affect how I think and who I am as a person, because the same people that you allow to prop you up will be the same ones that'll rip you down."
If that day comes, it is what it is. My big thing with this is, and by the way, it wasn't a big thing yesterday because I had no fucking idea. I mean, I guess it kind of was though. Even with the incremental, very small amount of subscribers I had, like, it was always about bring people to the channel that are not just enjoying what I'm doing, but they're enjoying each other's company too. I've wanted to grow a community for a very, very long time. And the fact that I'm getting the opportunity to do that, even if the community survives and I don't, which evidently they do, like these are people that move from one Nightwish reaction to another. Like, even if they chew me up, spit me out, and they move on to the next reactor, like, I'm happy that some of them clumped and came together on my
even
channel
for a brief moment.
Yeah, like, that means, like, even if they end up hating me over time, they make some real connections that last for good.
Yeah,
that's more important to me. I think we need more of that in this fucking world. I think we need more people coming together and unifying over something. And I hope to be a part of that ride with them, but if I'm not, I'm not. It's whatever. That's the nature of the beast.
I mean, I can agree with that, but I think the tough part is trying to constantly keep up with whatever is trending, or, you know, trying to make you're not going to be able to make everybody happy 100% of the time, which sucks. I wish that it wasn't like that.
Well, I won't. I mean, I'm not going to if I were to start reacting to stuff that was trending, for instance, I'd have to pay attention to somebody suggesting that I react to a Migos video. Ugh. You know, like, and it's just not in my wheelhouse.
I have only listened to their music in snippets through other media outlets. Like, if somebody brings them up and they play a second of their music, yeah, I will hate it, and I'll be like, oh, I will never search for that.
I have to start disassociating with you.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
you do. I already thought about that about a half an hour ago.
You're causing reaction channel anarchy right now.
Yeah, I am. But dude, I already know if you keep going on this steadying uphill that you're going on, eventually.
But you know, I want you to know, like, you know, this isn't fake, right? Like, what I'm doing it's not fake.
I'm not saying it's fake. Okay. I'm talking about you having to disassociate from me.
I was kidding about that. Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, I love doing this Okay, you want to talk real talk in that regard? Fuck anybody that's gonna get in the way of a friendship I've had for 15 years. That's not happening.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't want to go to your content, that's their prerogative.
I don't blame you. I don't want to go to it either.
But like, if somebody's gonna say you should stop hanging out with him, fuck you. Like, I mean, immediate, without hesitation, fuck you.
Dude, I mean, you know, and I don't, to go back to that real quick, I don't think that you are faking it. Although I'm pleasantly surprised that was not thrown in the comment section anywhere.
Yeah, no, dude, I mean, people, I guess I'm just readable because somebody actually wrote, I love that this is a pure and honest reaction. That in itself, and I didn't say anything about this even in the stream, but that made me tear up, because one of the biggest fears I had when I was doing this, even for Demos, because that's who I was originally doing it for, I didn't want him thinking that I was having any sort of disingenuous reaction to what I was doing. So the fact that people picked up that it was real, that made me so fucking happy. I had never heard that song before. I had no... this is going to sound a little bit shitty, but I had no real reason to listen to that song beforehand, just because Nightwish had been out of my head for so long. Until Demos suggested it, I didn't really have any reason to think about it. And then he suggested this song, and there was even a moment in me where I was like, I don't know if I want to go listen to Nightwish with a new lead singer, because I did that before with Annette, even though I didn't know her name.
And what were your feelings about her?
With Annette?
Yeah.
I thought she was fine. I never saw her live, though. Apparently that was the big, like, point of contention with people, is that she didn't sound good live.
But dude, does anybody really sound good live? Yes. I mean, there's a handful of bands I feel like that sound good live, that's true. That's it.
That's true. You're not fucking wrong.
Like, that's a diamond in the rough,
it is,
dude.
It is.
I mean, don't get me wrong, though. When you're paying your hard-earned money, you want to see a good fucking show.
For sure, dude. But the thing is, as a fan too of many fucking bands, right? Yeah, man, I've been to shitty shows for bands that I love. I remember back, I think it was 2007, 2008. I went to BB King House of Blues in New York City to go.
I've never been there. Is that the famous one that Tupac and all of them have gone to? It's a concert place.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure. But I went to see an industrial band called Frontline Assembly. They've been one of my favorite industrial bands since I got into industrial, which was when I was like 11, 12 years old. I went and saw them, and their sound guy was dreadful. And everything just sounded either way too quiet, or when they would raise the volume, distorted and shitty and just unintelligible. And I'm not going to sit here and say I had a fucking great time.
Because you didn't.
I didn't, but I still had a great time in a way, because I got to see a band I've admired for years live.
Now, how pissed are they, do you think? While they're up there, are they going,
I don't know.
I can't believe this fucking guy.
I don't think so. From what I remember, there was no sort of overt, like, fuck the sound guy sort of thing. Like, I think they made it through their set and did what they had to do. I know they broke a keyboard, but I don't know if they do that, like, routinely live, but they like literally.
Maybe it was busted, and they were like, "Shit, we should have replaced it. We'll just break it at the end of the show and make it worth it for everybody."
Well, they pulled the guts out of it. They pulled like the circuit board out, and they literally handed it to a fan.
That's so cool.
I thought that shit. I was like, "Fuck you for getting that. That's not fair." Reese Fulber literally handed them a fucking piece of their goddamn keyboard. I was like, that should be mine. Yeah, like I've been to plenty of shitty shows, and it doesn't take away from the fact that you're seeing one of your favorite bands live. I'm not going to shit on people that do that because, and not for any moral reason. It's because I've been that shitty fan before. Like when I was younger, I was such a bitch. If anything sounded off about what I was listening to, if somebody said something negative about a band that I loved, I was like, fuck you, like I turned into an elitist about it. But anyway, yeah, like you're going to encounter shitty shows and stuff. In terms of Annette, I guess maybe it was just consistent enough that people were like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, let's get somebody else up here. The band eventually fired her, and then Floor came in. And to me, Floor is like, I feel like she's in Nightwish for the long haul. And I think it would be ridiculous if she wasn't. Not only can she handle the operatic side that Tarja left behind, but she can also fucking branch out and belt out totally different and wild ranges with her vocals. So, like, it's just perfect to me so far. I can't wait to listen to more because... And I get to say that and mean it. It's great. Like, I get to go and listen to these new songs and have genuine, incredible expectations, and I think they're going to be met. Because apparently, according to one of the people that was on the comment thread for Ghost Love Score, they said that's only like 30% of what Floor can do. If that's 30 fucking percent, her talent should be monitored by a government.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
People like to fucking make things bigger than they are.
Of course. Dude, you always go to negative no matter what.
Hey, man. It's where I live.
Oh, my God. But...
it's where I live, dude. Look, it's just... I have negative thoughts, and I'm going to voice them. Maybe you're a positive person. Maybe you wake up every day. When you look in the mirror, you smile. You skip to work. You meet your boss, who is always nice to you. And you meet up with your coworkers, who every day you guys have cool conversations around the watering deal, and then you guys go out after work and you eat dinner and have drinks together and you talk about how fun everything is, and then when you go to your mom's house you hug your mom and you guys tell each other that you love one another. I don't come from all of that. I come from the deep dark crevices of the fucking world, dude, and I don't know. Look, I've been beat up by life, so you can argue that it has tainted the way that I look at a lot of things. However, I think it's healthy, and while I do tend to spit out a lot of negative thoughts, I don't always think about shit in a negative kind of way.
I know you don't, yeah.
But
the reason why I keep bringing it up is because you're doing it more lately, and it's actually making me worry a bit.
Well, I mean...
because I do it too, dude. I'm clinically depressed. Like, I live in the darkness, and you know that. You've watched me show up to your house literally telling you, I don't know if I can keep living.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Honestly, I think you've had some really bad experiences on your reactions, and it's starting to bleed over into what you think...
my regular life.
I think what you're doing is you're being super protective of me. I think you're seeing me have a very positive reaction to this, and you're thinking to yourself, I need to temper his expectations because someday somebody's going to shit on him like they did to me.
That could very well be true, and then, hopefully that never happens. And it's all for nothing.
And we talked about this before. I also hope it never happens, but I promise you I'm not going to be wiped out by it.
Yeah.
I won't.
Well, I just know how shitty it is to fucking go and click on it. And, I know we brought this up in episode 8, but, all the positive comments, that one negative one is like a shot through the heart, man.
And you're too late.
You give love a bad name. I knew the second I formed that sentence in my head, it was like, oh no. This is fucking Bon Jovi shit. What are you doing? Don't do that.
Dude, living on a prayer is what you're doing.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna go down to the docks. I don't remember the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at those lyrics. You got that?
Should I grow my hair out? Yeah.
Somebody react to that.
Land of Better Roses.
Is that a reference?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't. It's one of the last tracks on the. Actually, I think it's the last track on the album. That
you know that album?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even say I do.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's because that one. I remember that song specifically just because of how odd I always thought it was to lay on a bed. Like, tonight, you lay on a bed of roses, I sleep on a bed of nails. Like, I get what you're saying.
That's a good way to turn over in the middle of the night and get a thorn in the pee hole.
Like, you're saying that your life is great, mine is shitty, or I will suffer so that you can live a better life. But listen, Bon Jovi, you're not sleeping on nails, bro. You're running around stabbing people. So could we not act like, that's what's happening? I see what you're trying to do, but I just want to let you know on behalf of men everywhere, you are setting up some very high expectations that I am not willing to live up to.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you've already made it. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
We're only halfway there.
Yeah. Living on a prayer.
Lemon on a bear.
Take my hand.
We'll make it, I swear.
I
We're
swear.
not doing this. For those scoring at home, he put his hand out.
Because when I do something, goddammit, I commit to it.
So, you know what? I think I'm actually going to take Kevin's hand and we're going to frolic off into the sunset together. Good closer, right?
Yeah. Officially, Nightwish fans, congratulations.
You found your new chubby leader, I guess.
Everybody else, if you're not into Nightwish, I hear you. Hate it. Put a little bit of Blue October right in here behind me so that motherfuckers know what time it is, dude. I don't get it, but I appreciate that you get it.
What is Blue October?
Hate me? What?
Yeah, no.
Oh, hold the fuck. It's not going to carry over in Audacity anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, they'll hear it come through the mic.
Okay, cool. You'll
Actually,
know it.
I'll mute it. Hold on.
You've never heard that.
No.
Oh my god.
It seems really shitty.
Oh, this is great. We should probably do a fucking... I've never seen the video. You've never heard the song. Maybe we should do a video for this.
Okay.
So you can hate something. I'm converting him.
You're gonna walk out of here a miserable cunt yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so get your plugs in.
Oh, sure. So, do we plug the podcast on the podcast? No, we don't. Go over to Jack of One Trade's channel. That's JACKOF1, the number 1, TRADE. Check out his reaction videos. He does a lot of UK hip hop. He does a lot of metal as well. Check out my channel, Douglesby, DOUGLESBY. I just started in the game, but I got some Nightwish people coming over, and they're checking out my stuff.
And you can follow us both under those handles on Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah. You could look for me at Douglesby. You can find him at YT Jack of One Trade. Is that it? Or
that's for the Instagram. It's Jack of One Trade 0F1 on the Twitter. I'm also on... Fuck, where else am I? I don't know. I'm places. Look in the description of any video that I have out. If you're on a social media platform, if you search for me, more than likely I'm there.
And check out Skeletack, the game that I'm working on. You can download the demo for PC today at skeletack.com. That's SKELATTACK.com.
They're not going to spam your email.
Yeah, no, we don't spam. Fuck that. It's bullshit.
So listen, next week, Saturday,
yep.
The next episode of the podcast will be out every Saturday consecutively. Yes. If we are running late, I do wind up throwing a tweet out just so you guys know if I'm running late on editing the podcast or if we run into any kind of difficulty. So if you want to keep track of what's going on, that's where you can be able to get updates.
Thank you for listening to episode 12 of Laughing at Birds. We'll see you guys next week.